O Show. This is the Big 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 O Show. This.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
The lost city of Atlantis reveals its secrets at Toyota of Hollywood. Get legendary deals on over 2,000 Toyotas, like a 2024 Corolla, not $24,000, $20,988. Unlock the wonders of 0% financing for 5 full years, 0 down. Rediscover Atlantis at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Miles an hour, that's a Category 4 hurricane. 3 deaths are reported in Florida after more than 24 were killed in the Caribbean. This
I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices. Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
There's just one place to celebrate our happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Plus last chance savings on a 2024 RDX. $379 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Alrighty. Welcome aboard. Ready to rock and roll on Election Day. Yes, sir. Today's the day. Finally, it's over. The ads are over. The texts are over. It's all over. You don't have to worry about it anymore. It's a beautiful thing. It looks to me like most people voted early, too. I don't know. It just seems like a lot of people that I talk to, it's like, no, I voted already. So good for you all out there. Those of you that went out and voted already, you don't have to deal with any of the craziness. Although maybe, just maybe, it won't be that crazy today. What will be crazy is after the election. That's what's going to get crazy, is after the election is where it's going to get crazy. So anyway, it is Tuesday. Hope you all are doing well. We are getting ready to go to LA this week. We'll see what happens. LA is now favored by 2.5. Yesterday, it was 2 points. Today, it's 2.5. So it's even getting sexier. Just like Bitcoin hitting 70,000 right now. Sexy. Sexy. Very sexy. Very sexy. We got a lot of things today, by the way. Let's see. David Feronis will join us at 10:30. We will have Manny Navarro at 11. Ira Winderman at 11:30. So the show is loaded. Hopefully you all are feeling well and looking forward to it. I am looking forward to a bunch of things today. Boy, today's a lot, man. Today we just got back from the trip, and I got to get ready to go to Los Angeles now in a couple days, right? Today is my wife and I's 37th anniversary. Not wedding, boyfriend, girlfriend. We still kind of celebrate it. So today on election day is our 37th year together. So that's another thing going on. We got election day, of course. And I got my heart doctor today at 4:00. He's going to freak out because he hasn't seen me this skinny. So I'm not skinny. I'm still fat, but I've lost some weight. So hopefully, he'll be happy with that. So that was good. So it's a full day today. And then, of course, I'll get my popcorn ready to watch the fireworks tonight in the election. So we'll see what ends up happening. The only thing I know is that Bitcoin is going to fly, baby. It's going to soar now. Soar. So I'm looking forward to it. It already started soaring today. It usually starts at this time to really start to take off. November is usually a really strong month, and the second half of November and then into December, it becomes like this glorious time for those of you. And the altcoins are, man, they are at a great value right now. I had to get some more Hedera too. It was good. Anyway, what do we got going on the chat board? Jamie Zoria out in San Jose. Oh, speaking of California, I got to mention it a couple times because people then say, hey, I'm going to go out to meet you. I will not be, Sean and I will not be at the Sunday event out in Los Angeles, okay? The Sharkies people couldn't accommodate the line we need to do the show, so we're out. So, it wasn't important to them, clearly, because I saw the exchange and the text they sent. So they were just more interested in the money they're charging at the door and all that other stuff for, whoever they get in there. So just in case, if you're going to the Sharkies event and you're going to meet us, just so you'll know, heads up, we will not be there, unfortunately, because they couldn't accommodate us. So if they can't accommodate us, I can't do the show. And I'm going to a concert anyways at night. So I wanted to do a show earlier, and I kind of spoke about it, that I wanted to do something in the afternoon, kind of like what I'm doing at the Smudge Pot on Saturday. And we will be on Saturday. So if you want to meet up with us, Saturday is the only day, because we'll be at the Smudge Pot with John Phillips from 2 to 5 p.m. Okay. I'm going to see. I'll reach out to John today, see if I can get him on tomorrow, and we could talk about the event and have some fun. Okay. But there it is, 2025 West Park Avenue in Redlands, California. That's where Dolphin fans gather. And so we'll have some fun. This is a real Dolphin place, actually. So this is cool. So I'm happy that we're at least being able to do this one. The other one, hey, man, shit happens, whatever, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it, bro. You know what I mean? I wasn't getting paid for it or anything. So I was doing it because I wanted to do it out of the love for everything that goes on. But hey, bro, whatever. I don't really give a shit. That's fine. I'll be jamming with Dirty Honey on Sunday night at the Whiskey A Go Go. So I'm good, dude. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So it saves the voice. It's all good. It's another 2 hours. I don't put a wear and tear on my voice. I do enough. So, it is what it is. You don't want to accommodate us? I will go to places that will accommodate us. Like the River Pub. Billy Kelly, thank you. And by the way, I know some of you are going to ask me, did you go to the Anchor Bar? Once you have the Dirty Bird, you don't need the Anchor Bar, bro. The Anchor Bar is bullshit. You go to the Dirty Bird, you get real wings. Like real wings. Those are some badass wings. I had some badass chicken and waffles. That was awesome too. Okay. And Sean will swear by the pizza log. Because I don't know, how many pizza logs did you have? 46 of them, I think, in 3 days? I don't know. But you had a lot of pizza logs. My man was pizza logging like crazy.
I had 4 orders. They come 4 apiece, so 16 pizza logs in 2 days.
There you go. Pizza logs. My man enjoyed the hell out of those pizza logs. I should have tried it at least because they look good. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so I have a tendency of not eating during the broadcast. I wait till after the broadcast. Dude, you know what I did yesterday? Okay, Sean, we ate with Lisa at that Italian place, 9 o'clock? Right? 9 o'clock. So I didn't eat a meal till 10:30 last night. I went 25 and a half hours without eating. I ate 2 Tim Horton donuts. That's all I had for 24 hours. I woke up yesterday in the morning and I had 2 donuts and that's it. Because I don't like to have a lot in my stomach when I travel. It's just the last thing you want to do is have any stomach issues on a plane. You know what I'm saying? So I had it in the morning. We didn't fly till in the evening. We didn't fly till 6 o'clock at night. And I had the Horton's donuts in the morning, like at 9 or 10 or whatever the hell it was. And then I didn't eat again till 12 hours later at 10:30. I can hold for a while now. It's amazing when you train your mind. You can stay without food for a while. It's interesting. Got to drink a lot of water. Got to keep drinking the water. Finish this. But we're always loaded with another one. We've always got a few lying around. 25 and a half hours. And all I had was 2 Tim Hortons donuts. I did enjoy the Tim Hortons donuts. I cheated. But, I cheat and then I don't eat for a long time. You know what I mean? So it's kind of I balance it out if I cheat. That's kind of what I do. So I can get away with it. If not, you're not going to get away with the cheating. You can't, eat over and over all the bad stuff because I know what happens because I end up gaining all that weight. The challenge, like I always tell you guys, is really keeping off the stupid weight. Jesus, that's where I've failed every single time. And so far we're keeping it off. So we're kind of staying in our good habits and enjoying some bad habits. All right. Let's see what we got here on the chat board. Jamie Zoria out in San Jose. What a waste of a season. I hope everyone's having a good week. Remember to smash the like button. Steve Chapman is in. I hope the lesser of two evils wins. I don't know, whatever. They're both going to destroy our money anyways. The only thing that's going to win after whichever one of these idiots gets in, there's only one thing that's winning. Okay? That's it. That's the only thing that's winning. Right that dar there. Right that dar there. It's the only thing that's winning. While I was gone, I got these in the mail. I got my election shoes ready to go because that's the only thing that's going to win. Because both idiots will print and print and print a lot of money. Yeah, the orangutan already's been in there the first time. He printed a record $8 trillion. Bitcoin, baby. That's the only one that's going to thrive in this one, thanks to Kamala or the orangutan. By the way, prediction. Okay, I'll give you the prediction. I don't care, man. I'm probably going to be wrong because of Jim Cramer. Yeah, everything that Jim Cramer says, it's opposite. So pretty much Trump's going to win tonight because Jim Cramer said that Kamala's going to win. Okay. So anything that Cramer says, you go opposite, right? So if the way Cramer has it, Trump's going to win. But my prediction is Kamala wins between 5 to 9 million votes. She'll win by more than Hillary beat Trump, and she'll win just under or just over what Biden beat Trump. So there you go. Not that I want her to win, not that I want Trump to win. I don't really care. Again, the only one that's going to win is Bitcoin. The only one that's going to lose are the American people that continue to put in these people that print a ton of money. That's all. So, it's like I was telling somebody, none of the good people want these jobs. That's why all the candidates are terrible. Get it? So that's all. And most of the voters aren't very smart. They don't really follow politics. They don't really follow the economy. They don't really follow the dollar. They don't really know what's going on. So, yes, I insulted a lot of you, and I don't really give a shit. As you all know already, I don't really worry about that. I tell you brutally what's going on, okay? And most people don't know what's going on. They're just cheerleaders. That's what most of you all are out there. You're just a cheerleader for Democrats. You're just a cheerleader for Republicans, but you really don't know what's really happening and how they're just, both of them are destroying us completely. So have fun. Vote for whoever you think. None of them are going to save us. They're both going to bury us, just in different ways. That's all. But they will both bury us. It's like the Kava woman that we have here in Dade County. She's useless, bro. She spends money like it's going out of style, and they reelect her. What can you do, bro? We're stuck. So, Guillermo, good morning, sir. Giovanni Ray, Jonathan Cagle, Robert Kisler. Nothing from the Dolphins for a trade. They're not going to trade anything, guys. Maybe Calais, because that's the only one that would make sense to accommodate him if he wants to go. And if he doesn't, then you keep him here, and that's it. But that's the only one that you could trade, or they're not going to, like you have those stupid sites, the Kansas City Chiefs are number one to trade for Tyreek Hill. And it's like, it's that ML football thing. I retweeted like breaking, you're a fucking idiot if you follow these morons. Okay. And anybody talking about trading Tyreek they're not doing that. The cap hit would be crippling. The problem with a lot of folks out there, they don't follow the economy. They don't really know what goes on with the dollar. Well, guess what? Let me insult you guys out there a lot. Most of you really don't know the rules. You don't understand the finances of your country or football. So Tyreek's not going anywhere. The cap acceleration would be crippling. It would force you to trade others. They're stuck with Tyreek. You know what they had to do? It's funny because the manager at the Dirty Birds, he goes, I got mad at you because of the Jimmy Butler thing. You wanted to trade him. And I go, how do you feel about it now? He goes, yeah, you were right. I go, well, how'd you feel about X? Oh, he goes, yeah, you were right. Well, what about now? How do you feel about Tyreek? How do you feel about Tyreek? Is it worth it, guaranteeing all that money? You guys ran your mouth. I'm here every day, right or wrong. You guys get to run and hide. Throw your little rocks and hide. Where are you? You still backing the Tyreek deal? Or you're falling by the wayside like X and Butler? Wow. It's pretty effed up how I'm usually right about these kind of things, right? I'm not perfect, but man, am I usually right about these things. Man, do I know when to get off the gravy train. Better than the Dolphins and the Heat. So, what can I tell you? Got to understand the finances. And then I'm going back and forth with one, and we have this thing nowadays in our world that when somebody's trying to educate you, you are ignorant and you refuse to listen to the education and the information. The other day, I was confused about the Panther schedule because it was so difficult. So I reached out to George Richards. And he explained to me, you know how I ended the conversation? Thank you for the education. Why? Because he knows more than I do about this. So I'm talking to a guy that doesn't know, but I know more about this than he does. I'm trying to educate him. But no, but still the Dolphins can find a way to. No, dude, the Dolphins can't find a way to do this. They're not going to trade Tyreek right now. They can't. It would be cap crippling for them to do that right now. They're stuck with him right now. They guaranteed that money for the next 2 years. This year and 2 more years. I told you they're going to have a chance to get out of that contract now after what? After next season. That when you're heading into the 3rd season, that's when you can make a move. So you're stuck with them this year and next year. But the guy refused to because he wants to believe that nobody in ML football has any credibility. There's nobody in the media there. Nobody has any insight. They don't know anybody in the league. And yet, they got a whole bunch of followers and all kinds and all they do is throw clickbait crap out there. It's amazing. It's amazing. It comes up on my timeline. I'm not following these clowns, but it comes up on my timeline. Kind of like all the other crap that Elon's planted on that stupid thing. God, I wish we could use something else but X, man, because it is just a disgusting timeline nowadays. I find myself muting so much. I didn't know I had to find out so many facts about Hitler. Ever since that guy took over that platform, man, that platform has gone to shit. Giovanni Ray, way to go. Jonathan Cagle, Alexis Palenzuela, Giovanni, Joseph, Steven has Trump for the win. He says, I love Trump. One-Eyed Jack is in the house. Josh is in. Welcome to the NFL trading deadline. Omar Geiner, Skylar Tipton, Robert Rumbold, big Browns Dolphins fan since 66. Wow. Okay. Nice job by you, Robert. Hang in there, brother. Hang in there. Magic Mark, we should trade away any aging vet we can for decent draft picks. Like who, bro? Outside of Campbell, who are you going to trade? That's a 1-year contract. So, yeah, you can trade that because it doesn't affect anything. Who are you going to trade? Miles Deep, been killing, God bless, with a second job. Keep my mind off these damn Dolphins, but still die hard. Let's go Canes. Hang in there, Miles Deep. That's how everybody's got to do it, right? 2 and 3 jobs. That's why the job rate is low. Dude, 67. Yeah, riots will be epic. If Kamala wins, riots will be epic. That's guaranteed. Ray Sosa. Yeah, thank God for early voting. Yes, sir. Amen. You go in there and there's nobody there. Fernando Perez, NorCal. I got a late start for a change. Wake and bake. Ray Sosa, Gus 1388. Frankie Val. That's one that's driving me crazy, are this Dolphins team. Well, Frankie, they've been doing that for years, brother. They drive all of us crazy. A-Rod. Mistake not to go for 2 at Buffalo. No. It's just like we had a guy over there that was screaming, don't score so fast. You can't control that either. If you try to get cute and we'll use another play to waste time and then score, and you don't. The same guy that's screaming, wait to score. Why'd you get cute? Because how many times does Mike McDaniel try to get cute and he gets burned? Same thing. No, that was the right thing to do. You know what you have to do? Play better defense. If you can get stops in the first half, you got to figure out a way to get some stops in the second half, dude. If you can limit them to field goals in the first half, then you need to have a chess move when they counter in the second half. You need to counter some way and find a way to stop one of those drives, 2 of those drives, and you win the game. It's a team game. Too many of you want to blame it all on the quarterback and give the quarterback all the credit in the world. And that's just not right. Like last year, the Kansas City's defense is the one that carried that team to the championship. Without the Kansas City defense, Mahomes can do Mahomes things, and you don't win. You need a team. That's kind of the way it goes, dude. And so, yeah, that's the issue. I don't have a problem with not going for 2 at that moment. Aquavision in Ohio. John, good to see you, my brother. The other day, Lance McDonald. I'm in and out, trade Tua. Well, make your mind up. Are you at an In-N-Out burger or are you trading Tua? What is it? Because I'm not trading Tua, but I would be at an In-N-Out burger. In fact, I will be at one on Thursday. First thing I do when I pull into LA and Vegas. In-N-Out. Automatic. I pull in right around noon. Lunchtime. Can't wait. So, Lance, I don't know. Are you In-N-Out or are you trading Tua? I don't know. I don't get that one. Play action is in. Ty in the Bronx. Andrew Mann. Finns can have a good season if Mike Pence has the courage to do the right thing. That's great, Andrew. Jay Slim, see you at the Smudge. See you at the Smudge, sir. Looking forward to it. I'll bring some shirts. We'll have some giveaways. Let's see what else. Lenny Pena, Murphy. Let's see. He'd be a better coach than McNugget. Probably. Jay Slim, Ross deserves not winning nothing until he changes the Dolphins. Or I guess you want him to sell? Pizza Log has more girth than McNuggets. Yeah, a little bit. Soon we're going to call you Slimo. Not yet, but we're getting there. We're losing weight. I'm in my second phase now. Because what I did, I've every time I've lost weight, I've lost 50, 60, and 80 pounds. I've done that 3 times. This is the 4th time that I'm losing the weight. So I'm up to like 40 pounds lost now, maybe more. I don't weigh myself. I will weigh myself now at the doctor. I never weigh myself. I just I look and I go, yeah, I'm losing weight, and the buckle, and, the belt can go tighter. And I go find, this shirt that Brandon Rodriguez, my producer, gave me, I don't know, 10 years ago. It's a dolphin logo, but like digitally distilled, So it's kind of cool. And I figure I went with my Dirty Bird hat. So I sport the colors no matter what. I'm a Dolphin fan till I freaking die, dude. But yeah, that's how I kind of do it. So today I actually will find out where I'm at in the 230s because I'm somewhere in the 230s. I know that for sure. That is a fact. So I got to get down to like 205, 212, 210, somewhere in that area. Medically, I'm supposed to be at 195. Okay. So, by the way, I forgot to tell you, after 25 and a half hours, do you know what I ate last night? So I drop you off, Sean. I got to go through Hialeah to get home. I stopped at Chico's. I had a palomilla. I had moro and maduro at 10:30 at night. But it was the first meal I had in 25 and a half hours. So it did nothing to me whatsoever. That's the thing. It's just, it's funny. It's funny when you kind of pace yourself, life is a little different. Let's see what else do we have here on the chat board. Paul in Connecticut is in the house. I don't know what to do as a Fins fan anymore. Nothing works for this team. Yeah, we just got to sit there and watch a meaningless season, and I don't know, bro. Let's see. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate you. Let's see. Murphy, glad to vote for Orange Man again. Joseph says, why are 3 quarters so poor for the Heat are not a good team, Joseph. As I pointed out before that game, okay? The Heat's wins are Charlotte, Detroit, and Washington. Their losses are the Magic, the Knicks, and now the Kings. You see a trend there? They're not a good team, bro. That's all. They're not a good team. Jimmy's not a superstar. He 9 of 19 yesterday? That's not efficient. 6 assists, 2 steals. Where are the rebounds? Got to do more, man. They're done. It's about developing the young guys this year. This is a developmental year for the Miami Heat, is what it is. Okay? That's what this is. This is the reality that we're in, that this is a developmental year for the Miami Heat. You're not going anywhere. Okay? You're not going anywhere at all. So, what can I tell you? You got to just hang in there and just deal with the development of the players. Hope that one of those young guys turns into a star. Because they don't, it's like, again, I saw, it's the same thing on Twitter with ML football. That's a clown show on Twitter. The same thing in the NBA. Oh, if Giannis becomes available, the Heat are considered favorites. And it's like, they have no capital. And I wonder, well, maybe the delusion comes from all the success. But the most delusional fan base I have ever seen in my life is the Miami Heat fan base. The most delusional fan base. And I think it's because they've won so much that you think it's the inevitable and it's right around the corner, and it's just not. That's just not the case. And they're not a good team, unfortunately. And by the way, they haven't been a good front office for a while. They have mismanaged their picks and their players and all kinds, and their salaries. But this whole thing with Jimmy, they should have never extended him. It's kind of same thing as Tyreek. Should have not given him that money, like I said. Sometimes you make these mistakes, man, and they bury you. And extending Jimmy was a mistake. And even talking about it now for another one, that shouldn't even be in the conversation. Okay? I don't think they want to give it to him anymore, which they finally learned their lesson. But that's the sad part. So the Heat are what they are, man. Look at who they lose to. Look at who they win. Look at how they play. They're just not a very good team. You just got to hope that some of these young guys really develop, because Jimmy ain't carrying you for shit anymore. All right, let's switch gears. Let's talk Miami Dolphins football with the one and only David Furones on our Welt and Rheaume Miami Dolphins report.
All rise, football fans, as the Welt and Rheaume Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session. Welt and Rheaume has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
All right. How you feeling, my man?
Feeling good. How are you, Wo?
I'm good, bro. Can't complain. Just got back from Buffalo. Had a good time. Met a lot of good Dolphin fans out there. That was actually really, really cool. It was really cool to be at a Dolphins bar in Niagara Falls. That was fun. And a whole bunch of Dolphin fans watching the game. That was a good thing. I'm looking forward to Los Angeles this week.
Yeah.
And head out there. I'm going to head out there Thursday morning. So all good.
Been out there early. Yeah. LA always a great trip. This is the Dolphins' third straight year going there. They're playing the Chargers the past two, and then now the Rams. But you saw a lot of Dolphins fans. I felt like it was maybe a little bit less than some other trips to Buffalo.
Of course, yeah. But I saw Dolphins. I mean, there were.
Sure, yeah. I saw them at the airport. Saw some pockets of the aqua in the stands, but it wasn't like. Well, I'm also comparing. Like I was at the playoff game 2 years ago, and a lot more Dolphins fans traveled for that.
By the way, let me bring Sean up here, because I didn't talk with Sean about this yesterday. Sean, were you shocked? And for you, Furones, did this happen on your plane? I had no freaking idea how many Buffalo fans live in South Florida, because our plane was loaded with Bills fans going back home with us.
Did you? I didn't see that.
How about you, Sean? Did you notice that too?
Yeah, it was a bunch of bullshit.
Seriously, bro.
I didn't see it on my flight. Yeah.
Well, I saw it on
chanting and doing their chants and all that shit as they were coming on. It was
easily 30 people on that plane were Bills fans. Wow. Easily. Cheering Bills, all that kind of stuff. Go Bills, all that, dude. Yes. And they were like, and I had like a few of them right around me, and they were like, "Oh, so glad to be home." I'm like, "Oh, it's like," and so you what? Well, listen, we are the sixth borough. I've always called our town the sixth borough.
Right.
So, yeah, we're loaded.
That's New York City, but I guess it extends throughout the state. That's
what I mean. That's what I mean. They all come down here to retire and die anyway. So they don't stay up there. They leave the cold after they're done working and they get to their pensions or they get to retirement or whatever. Brother, they go south.
Yeah. Now, was this a flight to MIA or Fort Lauderdale?
Fort Lauderdale. Yeah. Listen.
Yeah, I was going to say definitely Fort Lauderdale.
I go with the most affordable flight. So even if I live in West Kendall, I'll drive to Lauderdale if I'm going to save myself a few bucks. You know what I'm saying? I'm not rich. I would love to fly out of Miami. It would be convenient for me. This week I'm flying out of Miami. The last two trips I've flown out of Fort Lauderdale because, dude, sometimes I'm booking flights for me and Sean, and it's a difference of like $300 and stuff for the two flights. Getting it in Fort Lauderdale or Miami, I'm like, sweetheart, you got to take me and bring me back because I'm not spending the extra $300 just so I could come out of Miami. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's
was this a direct flight? Was this a direct option?
Yeah, I'm a snob. I don't do connections.
Okay, yeah. Right. Last year, I did go to Fort Lauderdale for the Buffalo game because JetBlue had a direct both ways. Okay, so they had it for this one too. Usually I'm connecting somewhere. If I usually fly American or Delta, and then I think I've been on American each time, and then it's a lot of times it's been DC. This time it was Philadelphia. It could be Charlotte or New York, either LaGuardia or JFK. There's so many ways to get there.
What is this Sun Sentinel doing here, making you connect flights, bro?
Well, I mean, just going to Buffalo, that's usually the way it is, and I think actually now, what time was the return flight?
We've left at 6 and arrived at 9:30. 6 something, arrived at 9:30.
It was morning, 6 a.m.
No, evening.
Oh, evening. Okay, yeah, I remember the direct one being evening yesterday. Yeah, I mean, funny enough, like McDaniel spoke as early as he ever has. Monday afternoon back in Miami. No one who traveled can make it. Chris Perkins busting his ass trying to make it back, taking a 6 a.m. connection. But, I mean, he was landing like as the thing was starting. There was no way for him to get there. So, and no one who traveled for the game could also cover Monday in Miami Gardens.
Yeah, no, it's
because Buffalo is such a difficult trip to where it's usually connections or the direct flight. The one direct option would be getting in really late. I know Perk likes to get back first thing in the morning.
Yeah. And Aquavision, I'm a cheerleader for cryptocurrency. That's usually what a stupid motherfucker that knows nothing about crypto actually says. But I get it, my brother. I get it, Aquavision. You're a dumbass. You're ignorant. So you just spew stuff and then you sound stupid. Yeah, no, I'm a cheerleader since 16,000 and we're at 70. Yeah, that's what cheerleaders do, make money. What a freaking clown. Some of you out there, really, you're just too stupid to really. I don't even know how you get by in life, Aquavision. Really don't know how you get by in life, my brother. Life is tough enough. It's even tougher when you're stupid. Just want you to know. Anyway.
That's a fact of life. That's a fact of life.
Yeah, it's a fact of life, and it's a fact for Aquavision because that's certainly one dumb mofo right there.
I had a boss when I worked my college job. He always said, if you're going to be dumb, you better be tough.
Yes. Yeah. I hope he's tough because certainly stupid and ignorant. But that's all right, bro. You know.
And also, I'm not saying that about this viewer. Only you are saying that.
I openly say it, my brother.
I'm saying it in general.
Yo no tengo pelo en la lengua. Yo no tengo pelo en la lengua. All right. So that's I don't have any hair on my tongue. It doesn't sound good in English. But in Spanish it sounds fantastic.
I wasn't familiar with that one in Spanish. That's not one that my parents used.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Aquavision, we're both Dolphin fans, but you're a dumbass Dolphin fan. That's the difference. Okay. You know, because if you think crypto's a cheerleader stuff, I don't know. Go look at Michael Saylor and Larry Fink. You think those guys are cheerleaders? They're buying billions. Yeah, cheerleaders. Some people are really stupid. Anyway, let's get to some Dolphins talk. No trades, right? I don't outside of a Calais Campbell doing him a favor type of thing. I don't expect them to make a trade at all. I don't, and these idiots out there go, the Chiefs will be the top in line for Tyreek. Bro, the Dolphins can't trade Tyreek. The cap hit would be brutal. They'll be forced to cut other people. These are the things that I don't think people really understand the finances and how strapped the Dolphins are to the players that they have on this roster right now.
Right. The way a lot of contracts are set up, then they're just not tradable. And it's not really an option for the Dolphins. And that's true for a lot of this core. So I threw a Calais Campbell out there as a courtesy on the post game. But I know then Sunday night, Drew Rosenhaus was on Channel 7 and he said obviously he's obviously in heavy communication with the Dolphins and Chris Greer with how many clients he has with them. And he did mention that the Dolphins are not looking to trade him. But I mean, his name has been floated around by others too. So I just think that would be a kind courtesy to do when you're at 2-6. He's 38 years old and he's playing great, and someone who's in a better position to make a playoff run. I know internally there's like the strong belief, like, no, we can get this turned around, but it's like you got to be nearly perfect to actually make a playoff run at this point with this team. So if he were to want to be in a better position in what could be maybe his last year, I mean, we've probably said that in the past with him, and he keeps playing, but then that would be a good thing to do. But I mean, the Dolphins, they appear intent on trying to still win with this team, and they believe in the core. And one, they have to stay with this core because of all the cap implications. But I mean, they're still going for it this year. So as far as a trade at this deadline, I mean, maybe some small moves, maybe just picking up if it's an edge rusher that could help you in the short term. But I look at Javon Holland and just wonder, because if you're not going to re-sign him, then maybe there's something you could get out of him, and then maybe you make another move for a safety that's not as good, but and add some draft capital. But
let me tell you why you don't do that right now.
Sure,
he has no value.
That's the other thing. He has no value.
He's injured.
Right. Yeah,
he's been injured for 2 years. If anything, my brother, this is kind of a blessing for the front office, because now when you sit down to talk negotiations, he can't ask for the world because he's been injured the last 2 years. So now you're going to get a Chris Greer special, and he's going to get a under the market type of contract, and he's going to have to play under the money that he wanted because he hasn't been able to stay healthy for 2 years. And so it'll look good by them by still extending him, but yet they're going to get him at a bargain basement price. And I am not the guy that is down on Holland because the poor kid has had bad luck the last 2 years. I still think he's a top 5 safety in this league. He just needs to get healthy and get back on track. If he gets healthy, he will show the kind of beast that he is. And so for me, I actually think this becomes a blessing for the Dolphins, because now when they re-sign him, they won't have to give him the full market price because he has not performed like that because of the injuries.
Yeah, top 5 seems. I wouldn't put him in the top 5. I would say he has potential to get into the top 5.
Right.
If he can string together some healthy seasons.
Right. I know he's not here.
Yeah.
Right. I know. But I'm saying healthy, he's top 5. That's just me. That's just
okay.
me.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it a step below and say, I mean, healthy. He's still got to prove it when healthy. So it's not just the health, but he has the potential to get there if he's healthy and can string together some solid performances and output on film and also in stats.
Hey, listen, I get it, my brother. I deal with this shit all the time. Media, fans, you all get into the prisoner of the moment bullshit. Oh, no, we can't let go of Tyreek. No, we got to sign him. No, you shouldn't. Well, now they're paying the price. Oh, no. Butler's awesome. No, we got to resign. No, you cannot. Well, now you paid the price. Oh, X got 10 interceptions. Oh. So I get it. Holland hasn't done shit for 2 years. So all of a sudden he ain't shit. And they don't remember what he did when he started in the league in the first year, where he was looking like he was a beast. And prisoner of the moment bullshit gets caught up. I get caught in this. Cam Ward is the latest prisoner of the moment shit. I tell everybody he's not a top 5 pick. You can pick him if you want, but the way he plays football, that's not NFL football. Sorry, you're not going to have 7 and 10 seconds to play. You can't throw across your body like he does habitually. There's a lot of shit that he does that is not NFL, but we're in the prisoner of the moment bullshit. So, I'm not the guy that gets caught up in the prisoner of the moment bullshit. I'm the guy that burns people that are constantly in the prisoner of the moment bullshit. And the Javon Holland thing is the prisoner of the moment bullshit now. Because of the last 2 years, there's all this disrespect. There's all this, he's not that good, and he's not going to, and so that's fine. We will see as time goes on. If he gets healthy, I think he's going to be a monster. But that's all prisoner of the moment stuff that's going on with Javon Holland now.
Now, you touched on Cam Ward there. His physical abilities, his abilities as a quarterback, I believe put him up there. But you can get him into NFL coaching and fix hey, you cannot be throwing across your body on the run to the side.
Really?
I mean, it'll take some time to really drill it into his head. But he gets picked off enough on those types of throws, then he'll have to adjust. He doesn't want to throw picks. So even if he doesn't listen to the coaching, he's eventually going to adjust and say, okay, I realize I can't do that. But as far as just the tools that you have with
how many dropbacks does he have where it's pure 3-step, 5-step plant throw? How many of them?
Yeah. But he also has the ability to extend plays. I mean, and that ability will translate.
That ability will that ability will get you killed in the NFL. Okay? You can extend a couple of plays. You cannot make a living of backyard football, a sandlot football, which is what he plays most of the time, does not translate to Sundays. All I'm saying is, and again, we're in the prisoner of the moment bullshit. Shedeur Sanders over that kid 10 times over. 10 times over. Shedeur Sanders plays exactly like an NFL quarterback. Cam Ward plays like a sandlot quarterback, and that there's not enough structure in his game, and that's gonna be a problem as he translates to the NFL. We'll see. I would draft him late first round, second half of the first round, from the middle to the end of the first round or early second. That's where I would take Cam Ward, because I believe he's got all the ability to play in the NFL, but it's not refined enough. And there's a lot of questions, and he is irresponsible out there with the football. A lot. But you can do that at this level. At the next level, you're not going to get away with that kind of stuff.
Hey, it works okay for the guy that just beat the Dolphins, Josh Allen.
Yes, it does. It works for him. You are correct.
It doesn't work for everyone like that, but it could. It could.
But is he built like Josh Allen?
No, not quite.
No, not even close. Josh Allen is a monster, so he's able to take punishment. Now, having said all that, Josh Allen's accuracy still costs him in the big games. Okay, so he's great against the Dolphins. He's not great in the biggest moments of his career, by the way. Okay, against the real good teams,
you get deep into the playoffs, divisional round. The one time he was in an AFC Championship game, sure.
Yeah, so I mean that's what counts. We get caught up in the Dolphin stuff. That doesn't matter, bro. The Dolphins they're a soft franchise. They're a choking franchise. They're a losing franchise. They haven't done shit in 40 years. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? This is a franchise that doesn't even know how to win yet. They have yet to learn how to win. So measuring what he does against the Dolphins is not really anything. Now, when it comes to it's kind of
he's been doing it all season, though. I mean, he only had one interception going into this game, and then he threw one because Keon Coleman let it get to his body and Jalen Ramsey, because that could be a touchdown if Keon Coleman makes a catch.
No. Hey, listen, as long as they can run the ball, he'll be fine. He'll be like all these. Same thing as Lamar. As long as they can run the football, they'll be fine. The second you have to rely on them to be pure passers, that's when they end up getting in trouble all the time. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with Lamar. He could go win another NFL MVP. What does he do in the playoffs? He pees in his pants every single time. Why? Because they shut the run down. And he's not a great passer. And it gets exposed. Josh Allen sometimes gets exposed the same way too. If you shut the run down and you can control him and keep him in the pocket, force him to beat you with the arm, and he won't do it consistently. And that's what the good teams do in the playoffs to him. They shut it down. That's what they do to the Ravens. You shut down the run, and then you force Lamar to beat you with his arm, and he can't.
And that's exactly why Allen has been effective since the move to Joe Brady, is that Joe Brady reinstilled an emphasis in the run game. Yeah, but we went off on that tangent because we were talking about Javon Holland. Just to wrap up that.
No, by the way, no, and that goes again with what I've said with Tua, because everybody talks. Oh well, I said, bro, Tua is just like Brady and just like Peyton Manning and just like Breeze. Protect him and run the ball and throw to the tight end, and he'll take care of the rest. That's what you saw. That's exactly what you saw. Tua was untouched, super clean. You ran the hell out of the ball. You kept linebackers and linemen on their heels instead. You're bringing up the safety now because you got to run. This is how you're supposed to run an offense around Tua. When you have a quarterback that's a statue, okay? Breeze, Manning, Marino, Brady, whatever it is, these guys, they can't move. They're just passers. They're not athletes. They're not football players. You got to complement them with a running game. And speaking of running, that's the one thing that I'm really proud of. It took him 2.5 years to figure it out, but Mike McDaniel has finally stuck to the run in the last month. And this is why the offense is at its best right now, because of the running game.
Yeah. And it's why it's giving me this hopium right now. It's why I'm seeing the offense work as well as it has, even in this defeat. I feel like there's going to be a turnaround coming. I know they've lost 3 straight, 6, but will it be enough is the only thing. I think they can win like 7 out of 9 and get to 9 and 8. But then, you know, you're at the mercy of some tiebreakers probably. I don't know, but I think they're going to be in the mix. The Dolphins will be in the mix, especially as they're not blowing it up here at the deadline.
I get it. There you go. Say it again.
Bullshit. All right, bookmark this interview here when it happens.
Yeah, we'll bookmark it when it doesn't happen. I get it. Your editors will say, don't go telling the season's over. They won't read us anymore. You know, I get it. There's lots of other things we can talk about. Listen, the way I look at it, the season's over. It's over. It's done. But now you can maybe build on the offense. And that to piggyback off your point, the way I'm looking at it is you're not going to playoffs. You're not doing shit this year. But if you can at least figure out the offense, that would be good going into next season. You know what I mean? Because all of a sudden, the offensive line is playing exactly like what the front office thought. But the problem is the coaching wasn't matching what the front office vision was. Now, all of a sudden, the coaching is matching the front office vision. And guess what? The offensive line is playing fantastic.
Yeah. And I mean, I remember a couple weeks ago I wrote, after listening to Butch Berry, feeling like he had this group turning a corner, and I wrote that day that it could be swinging in the right direction for this O-line, and it has ever since. So it started with that Patriots game, and even as HN went out, then Mostert and Jalen Wright got going. Then Jalen Wright was a little bit phased out, but the run game was still productive. He had the Mostert fumble and the Ingle fumble against the Colts, but still, I mean, at least 149 yards rushing in each of these last 4 games. So it's something to lean on, especially with Tua throwing the ball as efficiently as he has. He's barely letting the ball touch the ground. Only had 3 completions at Buffalo, which, I mean, you have a game like that against a defense that has always sort of been a thorn in the Dolphins' side, then that's a lot of good on offense that's coming together. Now it's just, since that has developed, the defense has given up 30 points and 28 points these past 2 games. So once they have both sides working in unison, which I believe starts this week, then, you know, you can see a turnaround. Will it lead to the playoffs? I mean, probably not. It's just so improbable, but we're going to see better play this second half of the year for sure.
Yeah. The only thing is defensively, because that's what cost you the game this week was the defense. Yeah, obviously Mostert, which, again, this is a problem. You know, before I get to defense, Mike McDaniel has a discipline problem. Julian Hill can screw up every week and still play. Tanner Connor can screw up every week and still play. Raheem Mostert can keep fumbling, and he's still getting the bulk of the carries. There is no price to be paid on that team. None whatsoever. I don't care what you did behind the scenes. Don't tell me you did something behind the scenes, because on the game time, they continue to make the same mistakes over and over again. And this week, you went back to a whole bunch of penalties. And last week, he got a little cute, McDaniel, trying to brag about how they didn't commit a lot of mistakes for the first time in forever. And then you went back to committing all the mistakes again, penalties and the turnovers and all that kind of shit. And so to me, that's a real issue with Mike McDaniel. There is no discipline. There is no structure for discipline on this team. You can screw up all you want, and you never pay the price. It's amazing.
Yeah, well, I would back you on that, but there was one case of a lineup change in this past game. The Dolphins on defense did insert Anthony Walker in a linebacker over David Long, who had been struggling. So that was actually, a rare case of a demotion from the perspective of a starting lineup change that just occurred recently. But
isn't Long injured?
He's not on the injury report. And Mike McDaniel, when I asked him post-game in Buffalo about that move, he said it was about getting Walker in there in an answer that sounded like, protecting his guy, David Long, being a team captain. He is wearing something on one of his knees, but he's at least not receiving treatment on it. He's not on the injury report at all for the knee.
But I remember last year there was an injury that wasn't talked about, wasn't on the list either towards the end or something. I forgot who it was. You know who I'm talking about? It was an injury that popped up, and everybody like, oh yeah, he was playing with it, and it wasn't on the injured list.
Or the Dolphins, or there was Joe Burrow with the Bengals. That was a whole controversy.
No.
That would be a violation with the league if so.
Yeah, it was. There was somebody last year that it was talked about that he was dealing with an injury, and it wasn't.
I can't remember. Could it have been one of the Tyreek Hill deals or Jalen Waddle that he was dealing with something late in the year?
I'm forgetting now what it was, but I know that there was a case of that, last year. So it happened.
Either way, it showed up on the injury report, though, right?
And it happens. It happened. Jesus Christ. I'm sure Teron Armstead's played with all kinds of freaking injuries that we don't know.
But we do see those on the injury report. It's like he's got 3-4 body parts listed on the injury report. By the way, he's pretty healthy right now.
I know. No, the whole line's played well, dude. And remember, they're playing with a fill-in left guard, because they're really not playing with the left guard that they plan to play with in Isaiah Wynn. So they're also it's a replacement there too. So kudos to them that their replacement is doing a really good job, and they do have Patrick Paul waiting in the wings. So, and you have Kendall Lamb. So not only do you have a line, but you have depth. So I don't know. I guess they were right on that one. Overall, once you coach it right, the talent looks a lot better, doesn't it?
And I had belief in Rob Jones. I've always liked him since he was an undrafted guy that made this team. And, starting off, he was just like a fill-in spot starter whenever. But that's his role in the NFL. But he has really been thrust into true starting action with Isaiah Wynn unavailable. And, he's part of that competition the year before, but just missed on it. And he had to start plenty last year with all the injuries on the offensive line. And he's been all right as of late. So I like his approach to the game, just from having known him over the years. And
especially run blocking. Robert Jones is a tough guy, and run blocking. Robert Jones' thing was he had to improve his pass blocking. That's where he had to get better, and he's gotten better
too. Yeah.
Right. But the run blocking has always kind of been his forte because he's a tough guy. He loves mauling. Yeah. That's kind of, and this line now gets an opportunity to maul for the last month. And I'm sure they're loving that shit, dude. I'm sure they're loving the hell out of that shit right now. They must be happy that they get to start hitting people instead of them hitting them all the entire time. That's just absolutely brutal. By the way, I love the Dolphins plus 2.5 this week.
Yeah, same.
Like, if you're going to play this way, that's why I'm not going to build myself up for, the hopium stuff that you're doing. But I am going to build myself up that if you at least start to run the offense the way you did the last couple of weeks, for the rest of the season, all of a sudden now you finally developed your identity, which you have not really had an identity, and you're going to play the kind of winning football you need on offense. So to me, that's a positive.
Yeah, I see the fortunes changing. If they put up a similar effort that took them down to the final seconds at Buffalo, I actually would. Well, I don't know if you're going to ask me for a prediction now or maybe later in the week, but I am putting 27-24 Dolphins, and I might say in overtime in this one. So I do have them winning at the LA Rams.
I got to do a post game, you asshole. What the hell you doing with the overtime shit? What's wrong with you?
Oh, yeah. Well,
you got me working in LA because I'll be in LA. So I'll be tired. My old ass will be tired, and I'll be on to like 5 a.m. Miami time, bro. What's wrong with you?
Same. I got to write all these articles after the game, but at least I won't be on the pressure of a print deadline because it's already long gone after a Monday night game. So it's kind of just like, just get the stories updated after the game. Don't worry about too much. So, but that's my prediction.
How do you like that, son? You've been wished overtime on a Monday night by David Furones. That cruel and unusual punishment or what, bro? Huh?
What the fuck were you thinking?
Yeah. What were you thinking, bro? Now you want me to cross a black cat too now? Is that what you want me to do? Walk under a ladder also? Follow him on Twitter at David Furones _ catch his work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. He does excellent work. We will talk to you on Friday, my friend. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You got it. There you go. Welton Rayom. Jeff Welt, Daniel Rayom. They know how to get it done. 954-966-4646. Another storm in the Caribbean. Thank the Lord it's not coming towards Florida. But those of you that have dealt with Helene or Milton or the effects of it, please call Welton Rayom if your insurance company is not doing their job, which see an insurance company just dropped 200,000 policyholders here in the state of Florida. The new laws favor the insurance companies, not you. So the most important thing is to hire the best people. And Welton Rayom, it doesn't get any better. 954-966-4646. Bankruptcy, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. Welt and Rayom. Manny Navarro is next.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help. Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646. The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. If you're a Miami sports fan, there's only one store to go to, and that's Canes Wear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Canes Wear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop. Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Canes Wear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro. Exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
There he is. All right, all right, all right. How you feeling, baby? You feeling good?
Always feeling good. Always feeling good. How are you?
9-0. I mean, with the Dolphins sucking ass, I need, I need my Panthers, I need Inter and the Canes, bro. 9-0. So that's it's really cool. I know. Listen, I know it's not a perfect team, but the progress that has been made has been outstanding this year, and they're winning their games, and I'm loving that. And these are games that sometimes they would have lost, and they would have never been 9-0 in years past. So I am having some fun, and I know in the big picture that this is not a dominant Canes team. We're not going to put this anywhere near some of the great Canes teams that we've seen in years past and all that kind of stuff. But I'm super, super happy for Mario and super happy for the progress that's being made. And that's really all that matters right now.
Yeah, you think about what we were talking about in the preseason, right? It was like, well, maybe they'll go, 11-1, 10-2. Maybe they'll win the ACC championship. If they get there, that's good enough. Now you're sitting there watching this team and watching the season play out, and you're saying, hey, man, they better win the ACC championship, right? Your expectations for them have changed. And I think, there's a chance. I mean, this offense is really special. Oh, I went and I did my analytical breakdown of the last 6 teams to play in the national championship, in terms of just the last 3 years, the teams that made it. And Miami is on par with all 6 of those teams in terms of what they're doing offensively. And then in terms of defensively, they're actually ahead of the curve, even as bad as the defenses looked at times with some of the teams that played in the national championship game the last couple of seasons, the TCUs who made it to the championship, Washington who made it to the championship. So this is a team I think that can play for a championship. I don't know if they can win it, but certainly a team that I think is explosive enough to make a playoff run and be in the conversation.
Well, let's hope so, man. Injury-wise, how did they come out of this game?
Well, they lost Jadis Richard, which is one of their starting cornerbacks, a kid who started the last 6 games, was kind of coming off the bench early in the season and getting a lot of playing time, but now he was a starter. He's your biggest physical corner in terms of size, and Mario said yesterday that he's hoping that Damari Brown will be back. I told you guys weeks ago that I wasn't necessarily optimistic, but maybe break a glass in case of emergency. You never know. Maybe he comes back and isn't 100%, but he plays in some capacity to try to help out this pass defense in the postseason. And that's why depth is so important. That's why you got to have guys available, because again, we're in the 9th game of the season. We've been through 9. We're on to the 10th game. Guys are going to start going down, and you got to have depth to survive that. And that's why the SEC and the Big Ten teams are still going to be the best teams in terms of winning championships, because they're just deeper. They've got more guys, and Mario is just getting to that now in his 3rd year, where he's stacking great recruiting classes on top of one another.
Right. Now is when he has the the beginnings of a 22. In years 4 and 5 is where he will then stack the 44, right, overall, because obviously young guys will get elevated, and then the next recruiting classes will come in. And then all of a sudden, remember, we talked about this, that once you get to that 5th year cycle, now you've had guys that have been in your system for 4 or 5 years, and now they're teaching the kids that are the freshmen and the sophomores. Right. When you have that cycle, that's when you've hit it. And technically, this is really his 1st year, even though it's his 3rd, but he really spent the first 2 years kind of cleaning house, is the way it looks now. And so really it's going to take him a couple of years to get to that SEC level where you have that depth that the next guy that's coming off the bench is like they used to have. Right. It was like a badass that would come off the bench, and we're like, oh my God, they got to start some guy named Bernard Tiger Clark. Right. Who the hell is that guy? And all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? So these are the things that has to happen for Miami that they used to have all the time when they had McGahee and Jackson and Willis, right? I think they were all like in the same back.
Willis, yeah.
You know, that's the kind of shit that and they have that now at running back, by the way. But
Right.
like in all positions, they used to be like that. And that's how Georgia is and all these other teams. We got to give Mario some time for that, bro. We got to understand that right now. We have to that's the part where we have to now give him a break because we're watching the progress being made now. Now we know that the method behind the madness is working.
Yeah, and really, ultimately here, we're in a different era because of the transfer portal. So you have to be vigilant in both fronts because you're going to lose guys year to year to year that you recruit. There may be a first or second year kid who says, look, man, I don't want to wait anymore. I want to go to another school and play because I want to get to the NFL in 3 years and I don't want to wait anymore. So that's why recruiting matters. That's why people say, oh, it's all about the transfer portal now. No, it's not. It really isn't. You have to be able to replenish every single year with an elite high school recruiting class because you don't know who's going to get up and say, I'm not waiting anymore. I want to go somewhere else. That's what happens at Ohio State and Alabama and Georgia and other places. Those guys leave and they go and become stars somewhere else because they don't want to sit and be the second guy. So that's why recruiting is so important. And Mario, like you said, he's just getting there at certain position. I think cornerback and safety starting to trend towards building depth, but that's in the next recruiting class. That's in the next one that they're going to sign. So, wide receiver, I think is another one, right? You got to replace Xavier Restrepo next year. You got to replace most likely Zay Horton or some other guys that are older on this roster, Jacoby George. That next unit, you have to replenish that to see who else leaves in the offseason. Will guys take off via free agency, as we call it now in college football. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, but he's building a program, and that's ultimately what Miami's administration wanted. They wanted a program builder, and that's what Mario Cristobal is.
Yeah, no, there's no. I mean, that's we knew that he could do that. He can recruit and he can build. It's just a matter of getting it fixed on game day, and that's exactly what they're doing. What's the challenges this week against Georgia Tech?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if their quarterback Haynes King, comes back or not from that shoulder injury. I haven't sort of checked up on what the latest is with that. I know that he's missed a couple of games because of the throwing shoulder injury. But Georgia Tech's a good team. They're 5-4, play a tough schedule. They got Georgia at the end of the season, and Brent Key is a good coach. I think he does a good job considering some of the limitations they have in terms of who they can bring into that school because of academics and everything else. And so, look, this is the same team that ruined Miami's season last year, right? With the fake fumble at the end of Don Chaney Jr. and then the touchdown at the end of the game. And so Miami's highly motivated to win this one. Noon kickoff in Atlanta. I can tell you, being in Atlanta several times to go watch that game in person, not a lot of atmosphere at that place. You're in downtown Atlanta, and there's Georgia. You can see Georgia Bulldogs sign from the stadium outside on billboards and stuff. So they're not as passionate about Georgia Tech as they are the Bulldogs in that state. But
that's the
nevertheless,
that's the redheaded stepchild there, bro.
yes.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, a team that can beat Miami if Miami screws around and plays a bad game.
Yeah. I don't see. That's where I don't expect that. I don't expect that anymore. Not with Cam Ward leading you,
right?
Because Cam Ward inspires all, not just your offense. Your defense knows, dude, if we get this stop, he's going to win it for us. So we've got to get this stop. So if they're in that position, and we know the defense isn't great, but they'll find something deep down inside, because that's what happens when you have a true leader on your football team. People rise to the occasion, and that's something that I've seen with this team, that they've put themselves in some positions that are pretty shady towards the end, but they find a way to overcome. And when you do this that often, I think it's because of that dude, bro. I really do. I think it's because of that dude.
Yeah, without question, Cam Ward is the difference maker and a special quarterback, and that's why you have a chance to go on a run here. That's the only reason why Miami has a chance to do something special this year. I mean, otherwise they would be another team that you look at and say, okay, maybe they can win the conference title. When you have a special quarterback, you feel much better about your chances. Especially as you're building towards becoming that elite program again. He can make all the difference in taking you places regular guys can't. So look, they've had 3 second half comebacks so far this season. They came back from big down at Cal. They came back from against Virginia Tech when they were down to win that game. Then this past Saturday, 28-17 in the third quarter, came back and won that game. So as long as you've got one out there, you have a chance to win every single game that you're in, because he's going to make plays. He's going to make passes. He's going to take off and run on 3rd and 17 and get you 20 yards. He can do a lot of different things to erase your issues. So I think as long as he's upright and healthy, this team can win any game it plays in.
Heisman, what do you think?
I've been telling you from the beginning.
Championship game, can he get the Heisman with that? Will that be something that could put him over the top?
Well, remember, they vote on the Heisman. I think the last date is the early December weekend, right? And then they award it the following weekend. So I think if they win the conference
championship game is in by then, right? It's not the bowl game.
If they win the ACC championship, his biggest competition in my mind is Travis Hunter, who I told you in the beginning of the season was going to win it, right? I told you that. I said that was the guy, the whole Shohei Ohtani factor. Everybody loves the two-way player. Right now, Colorado has a chance, dude.
He is special, bro.
Oh, dude, yeah.
I mean, if anybody says Travis Hunter doesn't deserve it, have you ever watched football in your life? Do you know how difficult it is doing?
Yeah,
bro, for sure.
Listen, Colorado has a chance to win the Big 12. Now that we've seen a couple of upsets, you saw Iowa State lose last week. You saw Kansas State lose. So the door has opened for Colorado to reach the Big 12 championship game if it can win out and get the tiebreaker it needs. So I think if Colorado gets to the conference championship game, my guess is Travis Hunter wins the Heisman and Cam Ward finishes second. But if Colorado slips down the stretch, then I think it opens the door to Cam. I just think it comes down to that. I think that's the way voters think when it comes to this stuff.
But how does Colorado have a chance? All the pundits were saying that Colorado was going to suck and it was going to implode and that Dion is overrated and all that. Bro, that's all I heard, Manny.
Yeah, well, listen, the guy has done a phenomenal job. First of all, his son is an incredible quarterback. And just like Cam Ward, he can make a lot of things, a lot of problems disappear. But look, they got to win at Texas Tech this week. That's not an easy game. Texas Tech just won at Iowa State, can score points. So, I mean, they've got challenges down the stretch, but I think they're in position, dude. They have a chance to get there.
Yeah, dude. I mean, they're already way better than they were last year. So that's all he needed to do is make improvements, and he's making improvements every year overall. Now, next year will be a challenge for him because the loss of Shedeur. Oh my God.
Yeah,
that's huge. That's, I'm talking about Cam Ward. It's the same thing. That dude is special and a half.
Absolutely.
So that guy is as NFL as it gets. Shedeur Sanders. Wow, he is perfect, dude. All right, what do you got going on in the athletics so folks can check you out, my friend?
Well, I can read my oddly specific predictions that'll be coming out on Thursday. Read our ACC power rankings. I'm working on a bunch of different projects. I'm going to have some stories on the quarterback and maybe who the next Cam Ward might be for Miami if they go out into the transfer portal, find somebody else. So there'll be plenty to read over at theathletic.com, including my column from this past weekend about how Miami made the right decision in upgrading their head coach. Wasn't pretty at the time when they kicked Manny Diaz out the door as he was trying to help them win games and going 5-6. But in the end, I think Miami fans can all agree you upgraded.
Oh, yeah. There's no doubt you upgraded, dude. And you got yourself a lifer. Because if he is successful, and I hope he is, that's the one thing, dude. He's not going anywhere. He's not using this as a stepping stone like so many others have used as a stepping stone. This is not. This is where he wants to be, and that's pretty cool, man. They've never had a coach. Well, I think Mark Richt wanted to end it here, but he was already at the back end of his career, and maybe Manny stays here for a long time. Maybe he does if he was successful, but Mario for sure.
I think Manny is the perfect fit at Duke. I could see him being a guy who wins a lot of games at Duke and keeps them in bowl eligibility every year, goes 8-4, 9-3, because he's a good defensive coach, and he has zero expectations on him there. There's zero expectations there at Duke to win. It's the perfect job for him. Kind of like Mark Stoops at Kentucky, right?
Yeah.
Same thing. He doesn't have to win. He's at a basketball school.
Yeah, but he's done a marvelous job there with that football program.
Yep.
They're actually respectable now as a football program. That we never respected Kentucky football. I think now we have respect for Kentucky football. Now when you go play Kentucky, it's not like, hey, dude, it's bye week this week. We're playing Kentucky. It's homecoming week or something. No, it's not like that anymore, Kentucky. They'll surprise your ass, dude.
Oh, yeah. Ask Georgia. Ask Georgia what it was like in Tennessee this past weekend. Those were tight games.
Yeah. Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro and catch his work there at The Athletic. Better yet, subscribe. Manny, as always, appreciate you, my brother. We'll catch up on Friday.
All right, brother. Talk soon.
You got it. There you go. The great Manny Navarro. And remember, at Caneswear, you can get anything and everything practically with the Canes logo on it. And they've got Heat gear. Heat season's going on. Inter Miami are in the playoffs. Get your playoff gear, man, for Saturday. For the game against Atlanta. Dolphins gear. There you go. Let's go, man. We got it all for you. Panthers. They still have championship gear there, too. And you can get any new gear for the new season. The Panthers are kicking ass. I think they're like 9-3-1. Amazing record. They're back in action on Thursday. So go to Caneswear, 2655 South University Drive in Davie. Tell them that Big O sent you. Remember, if you order online over $99, you'll get free shipping. But use our code BIGO10. You will get 10% off at Caneswear.com.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at Caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
So here we are. I wanted to show you the backyard again because we had some trouble last time, but you know, cuttersedgepro.com does some amazing stuff, and they're the boys and the girl. They're having fun. There we go. Right, Maiden? Right, Bono? There we go. They're having fun. I'm having fun. Look at our Sylvester palm. It is beautiful. We got another one in the front yard like that. You can take your home and landscaping to the next level. And the artificial turf, look at that. Look at that. The two dinosaurs going at it, huh? Look at that. I gotta love the dinosaurs. Look at them. They like to bite each other's legs. That's what they do. They play with each other, and then they bite each other, and they piss each other off. It's fun. One is Bono, which is the one farther away from you, and Maiden. She's the girl right here. She's a badass. That's for sure. So anyway, see the flowers are coming out. Very nice. Cuttersedgepro.com, folks. This big tree there will start budding that I'm showing you there soon. It'll have all kinds of flowers. I'll post another video and I'll show it to you. This is a backyard where everybody gets to hang out. Over there in that corner there, I put the barbecue and cook. So that way it's the farthest away from the house, you know. If I light myself on fire or somebody else, we're out in the corner away from everybody. There you go. So you're getting some flowers coming out, which is a beautiful thing. And I swear by this artificial turf, it always looks phenomenal. I don't have to cut it. I don't have to water it. And so I'm saving a lot of money, hundreds and thousands in the long run, because I'm not watering or, of course, cutting the grass. And you know, here in South Florida, we cut the grass like every 10 to 14 days.
I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
There's just one place to celebrate our happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Plus last chance savings on a 2024 RDX. $379 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Keep fans. Time for the best insight of your favorite team with insider Ira Winderman, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. It's the Acura of Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat and NBA report. Here's Ira Winderman.
All right. Yep, I got it open. I thought I had the mic closed. Howdy, Ira. How you feeling, my man?
I'm feeling as good as one can feel for 47 minutes, 59.3 seconds of basketball. I'd put it that way.
No, I mean, listen, if I wanted to break it down in simplistic fashion, I'm going to say your wins are against Charlotte, Detroit, and Washington. Your losses are the Magic, the Knicks, and the Kings. And there's, unfortunately, we have a trend that is developing early on in the season, and the Heat are finding themselves to be a middling team. And guess what they've been the last 2 years? A middling team. So the question is there enough star power to get you out of being middling?
No. And you know what, Big O? When I wrote my Ask Ira at sunsetl.com this morning, I can't tell you how much that game reminded me of the Miami Dolphins on Sunday, where you're almost good enough, but not quite. Because you know what? The Dolphins played a very good game on Sunday. Mostly, they did. The Heat played a very good game on Monday. Mostly, they did. The Dolphins put themselves in position to win. They did. The Heat put themselves in position to win. They did. But Big O, you know this from covering so many teams down here. The good teams find a way to win. The not-so-good teams find a way to lose. Dolphins give up just enough, field goal, lose. Heat do just enough, put back basket, lose. That's the difference. When you're good but not good enough. And you know this, Big O, and your listeners know that, and everyone in the Acura Pembroke Pines report knows this. To be stuck in that place is a terrible place to be, because you can convince yourself, as the Dolphins are now with their record trying to convince themselves, as the Heat this summer tried to convince themselves that they still can be good enough. It's a tough place for players, for coaches, for management, because you're almost there. Well, you know what almost gets you in the NFL? Maybe a first-round playoff game, lost in Kansas City and done. In the NBA, maybe the play-in, lost in the first round and done. That's the thing. It's a very, very difficult position to be in.
And meanwhile, on the ice, we watch a team that overcomes all kinds of shit. Even with Kachuk and Barkov out, they still win. You want to throw in Knight at goaltender? They still win. They find ways to win. Inter Miami. Whoa, what a different front office it is nowadays. Messi, Rojas, Suarez, they got to go off on international play. Well, guess what? Campana and the boys take over off the bench, and they continue to win. There is a difference when your front office and ownership has done a marvelous job of stacking your roster and prepared for those rainy days, and your stars are stars. And that's the problem with the Heat and the Dolphins, that the stars aren't necessarily stars all the time. And that's a problem for your teams, because the Panthers and Inter Miami, their stars are always stars.
Well, and that's the thing. You have Kachuk, you have Barkov, you have Bobrovsky playing career best Vezina Trophy level again.
Reinhardt, Bennett,
but even those top three, the Heat don't have anything to match that.
No.
The Dolphins don't have anything to match that, depending what you're doing or not with Tyreek, and that's the difference. All sports are about stars. When your stars come out to play and shine their brightest, that's when you know what you are or what you're not. Tyler Hero, terrific first quarter scorer, good first half scorer, then not so much. Jimmy Butler still limited to picking his spots when he decides, okay, I'll score 15 in the fourth quarter, but maybe not so much otherwise. Bam Adebayo picks on the Wizards. We all can pick on the Wizards. It's like being a bully. But against the level of competition, even like Domas Sabonis last night, it becomes a different thing. Look, they are good enough to be competitive. The Dolphins are good enough to be competitive. Is that where you want to live your life, in good enough?
No. Yeah. And that's why I kind of, and I told you that for me, this season is more about development. And so let's find out what we have with all these young guys. And as a Heat fan, quietly, I know it's not going to happen, but I'm just going to pray that one of these young guys becomes a star, because that's almost like the saving grace that this team needs. Like one of these cats becomes something that we haven't seen. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if we have that yet, but that to me is what I'm looking at night in and night out. I'm not thinking so much big picture about deep playoff runs anymore. I don't want to set myself up for that, because then I'm going to just let myself down because I'm not being unrealistic. But if I want to be realistic, all right, let's see if Jovic can grow, and let's see if Jaime can grow, and Pele Larson, and any of these young cats that they have. To me, that's what I'm watching from here on.
Well, and also, you're also developing chips, because this is a trade league. So if Hawkins and Jovic and Larson and Ware and the young players become something, then you're restocked, which the Heat have not been for a while. Then all of a sudden, you can go to a team that's getting rid of a veteran like a Portland and had a Damian Lillard at the time and saying, hey, we got these 3 young guys. You might be interested. So you're developing that also and trying to do that. It's a very tough thing to do in sports, to have a bridge year between having a player near the end of his career, still somewhat in his prime, and going to the next rendition. And that's what the whole Jimmy Butler thing is all about. So you could say last night, in a way, 27 points, strong in the fourth. Maybe a contender looks at that, Golden State, for example, and says, you know what? We've got Kuminga. We've got a couple of first-round picks coming up when we might not be so good. Maybe that's the alternative. You go in that direction. Such a fine line. What I like, Big O, is this. The Heat leave today for a 6-game trip. They're going to play Phoenix. They're going to play Denver. They're going to play Minnesota. They're going to play Indiana twice. We will know. Then they come back and play the Sixers. We will know 2 weeks from today, when we do an accurate Pembroke Pines report, then where they are and what they are. And let's be honest. If they compete with Phoenix, compete with Denver, compete with Minnesota, compete with Indiana, compete with Philadelphia, then you may pull back and go, Ira, I was wrong. This is a competitive group against quality. But if they don't, we can't sit around here and waiting to play Detroit again, and Charlotte again, and Washington again, and get those phony victories that create phony hope. The Heat are not as good as they were against Washington on Saturday. Washington is terrible and trying to lose. Starting 3 rookies, a second-year player, traded one of their best players because they want to win the lottery. They want to get Cooper Flagg. It's a different kind of league. You can pad your stats in this league, but pad them, Big O, to what degree?
Yeah. Giannis, can we stop? I mean, how many times are we going to do this to ourselves? Like, I don't know why people do this. They don't have the ammo to make this kind of move. So if Giannis does become available, are you selling that hopium to the Heat Nation?
I'm not selling it, but I never count out, because I've seen too many times when they've gone deep or even pulled it off, so I can't. What I know is this. Giannis, for whatever reason, I don't think it would work, has always wanted to play with Bam Adebayo. I don't think their games would mesh, number one. But number two, it says Bam would not be in such a trade. I don't think that he'd have enough for all these other team with draft picks to get in there for a team that wants to reload, so I don't see that working. The question is, if Milwaukee keeps tanking like this, you're going to hear Giannis. You're going to hear Dame Lillard. And the Bucks should consider it, just like the Heat should with Jimmy Butler, if you wind up mired in the morass. So, yes, those names will be out there. But that's what the Knicks are poised for. That's what teams like the Rockets are poised for with their first-round picks. That's what Oklahoma City, although I wouldn't want to play him over Chet Holmgren at this point, but that's what OKC is primed for. I don't see the Heat having the chips, but you know what? Milwaukee might also have to wind up selling low, because Giannis is 31, no longer plays defense, isn't the same player because Dame Lillard is 35, still has 3 years left on an expensive contract. So who knows? They might be in play. I would not get too caught up if I'm the Heat. The Heat have to make a decision on what they are. If they want to stay with the current team and run it out one more season, hey, with Jimmy in a potential contract year, I'm fine with that. But to keep going through the veterans and retarding the youth, the young players, I don't think that makes much sense at this stage, at least.
All right. That's because to me it just and again, you need more 3-point shooting, and with him and Bam and I mean Butler
You can't do that. It won't work. You're right. Giannis and Jimmy and Bam doesn't work because you're all meeting each other in the lane. It becomes clogged. It's like trying to park 3 cars in a 2-car garage. You're not going to be able to pull it off there. It's almost too clogged now when they've gotten away from their pace and space because they all want to be at the lane, and Bam needs to be there and Jimmy needs to be there. So they tried to create something, gave us a delightful little preseason. Now we'll see the coaching genius that you always talk about of Eric Spoelstra. How can he get this group past the Suns and the Nuggets and the Timberwolves and the Pacers? Going to be kind of fascinating.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. What do you think of what do you think of Pele Larson?
I love Pelle Larsson, and it's interesting because I knew we'd get into this discussion. And here's the difference. People are going, wait, Ira, wait, Big O, wait, Accurate Pembroke Pines Report. We drafted a guy at 15, we're not playing him, and there's a guy at 44, and we are. Here's the difference. If a player is polished and ready to play, Eric Spoelstra will play him. From day one, Jaime Jaquez Jr., 4-year player at UCLA, was in the rotation. Pelle Larsson is a 4-year collegian who has been through it all, seen it all at the highest level. He is ready. Now, I'm not saying that Pelle Larsson is more skilled or more talented or more athletic than Kel'el Ware, but he has NBA-ready skills from what you're showing me now, the three-pointer, to some defensive grit. He's ready now. That's why. Eric Spoelstra is not gifting minutes. If you're ready, you will play. Pelle Larsson is ready. He's going to play. Kel'el Ware still needs to grow. You know, he's basically played 2 years in college, really 1 because at Oregon he was phased out. He still needs to grow. There's a big difference between 23 and 20 at this stage in the NBA. Kel'el will grow. Pelle is ready. That was another hell of a second-round pick for the Heat. Sort of like a guy he played alongside yesterday, Josh Richardson, when Josh Richardson went number 40 out of Tennessee in 2015. This Heat team does have a way of finding those players. Adam Simon, Chet Kammerer.
I've liked Larson since I saw him. He's got an NBA body already. His body is developed already at this point, which is also pretty cool. He plays with confidence, and he can stroke it from the outside.
You know what? I don't think it's coincidence, Big O. Tell me if I'm wrong. Is it coincidence that he was given number 9? Or was he given number 9 with a certain player in mind? Because, man, he has a bunch of Dan Marley in him, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He does. That's what I'm telling you. He plays with moxie, bro. I like him. There's something about him. He's got dog in him. And I just kind of like what I see from him. And I'm watching the game last night, and he's like, you know, one of the few bright spots because I was watching that game late night. It just, wow, dude. I really like this kid. And I know what's gastronitis or whatever the hell.
Jaime Jaquez, the Mexican heritage guy in the team, goes to Mexico and apparently drinks the water. If anyone you thought would have been smarter than that, Jaime Jaquez misses the game. Big O, to go back to Pelle, though, now it's interesting.
But he's an American Mexican. So
okay, but his really lineage tells him.
You know, he doesn't live there. You know, those people can drink it.
You should know better. But the thing about Larson, it's going to be interesting, is we both know Eric Spoelstra likes veterans. So he has Josh Richardson on his roster in his 30s. He has Alec Burks on his roster in his 30s. I'll be curious to see when Jaime Jaquez Jr. comes back, if Pelle stays ahead of those other two in the rotation. I would love to see that. Because, again, you're getting a glimpse of a potential future. You're getting a glimpse of the next. That, hey, if Jimmy does move on in a trade, in free agency, you know what? With Jaime and with Pelle, you'll at least have a pipeline to help at least plug the dike, if not, maybe even push ahead and give you something else. So I would like to see Pelle in the rotation, but I know Spo and veterans. I'll be very curious.
Yeah, I you know what? I'm guilty of something here also. Because I want the Heat to succeed, I want them to have, I want them to have big time success. And I just told you, I'm hoping for a star to pop out of nowhere. And that's probably why I'm reaching a little bit for Larson or any of these guys, because I'm hoping that one of these guys, because that hasn't happened to the Heat where they get a guy in the second round that becomes like a stud, like for other teams that have had that beautiful luck of finding a guy that all of a sudden became an absolute star for them.
Was Jokic and a Ginobili, guys like that. And again,
was Klay Thompson a second rounder also?
I think Clay went earlier. I'm not totally sure, but I think he might have gone earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, he might have gone earlier. But I mean, well, actually, no, it was Draymond Green that was their second round.
And the Heat actually had a chance out of Michigan State that year, and that's what makes the difference in a salary cap world when you find a player like that.
Right, and that's what I want the Heat to find that guy, get that break.
Totally understand.
Because they've either had to draft him early or they've had to trade for him. That's basically the way it's happened. They've had solid second-round picks and, hell, a solid third-round pick in Grant Long years ago. But overall, they haven't hit on that second-round pick that's become like a flat-out star. You know what I mean? That would be pretty.
I don't want to overproject off of one game, but there's hope and optimism there. And, hey, he hit the game winner in Summer League, so there's that too.
Oh, I really like the kid. I'm just hoping that whether it's Hawkins or whoever, dude, I don't care. I'm hoping that they get lucky for once because the Heat kind of need that break because you and I know they don't have a lot of first-round picks. They don't have a lot of flexibility. They've put themselves in a corner for the last, 6, 7, 8 years now where they don't really have a ton of flexibility and they can't compete with other people for top-notch talent. They kind of need this break, dude. That's all.
And maybe we'll see it there. I agree.
Let's hope so, man. All right, follow him on Twitter at Ira Heatbeat. What do you got going on in the Sentinel, by the way?
Well, I just wrote a story about, everyone's talking about it, the third quarter, the third quarter, how they've been ghastly coming out of the break. I equate it to this for the baseball followers out there. A lot of times when a team goes through the lineup the first time it gets the pitcher, they have to get a read on his stuff. Right. When they come back up, they know what the pitcher has. They know what they expect to face. They know whether it's the screwball or the slider, and they're more locked in. What I contend is the same starting lineup that plays well for the Heat in the first quarter and has been awful for the Heat starting the third quarter is the other team goes, oh, we can go with this Jovic guy. We can go with Tyler Hero. We can pick on Terry Rozier. We can formulate something to really pick at the scabs there. So I don't know whether Spo starts a different lineup in the second half, in the third quarter. I think he needs to go to a new starting lineup anyway. I think they could still get off to better starts. I think Haywood Highsmith over Jovic, I know you like him. We're talking about youth, but you need a little more defense. The defense is awful in the first unit. And I still think that Terry Rozier would be better off the bench because he so duplicates so much of Tyler Hero that he can't be his best self. I also think we saw glimpses of this Monday night. Duncan Robinson plays so well with Bam Adebayo. You've got to get those two on the court more together. When Duncan is out there without Bam, he's simply not the same player. So again, you can go with the phony 3-3 record and going, hey, Ira, they're one of only 5 teams in the East at 500 or better. Or else you could be honest with yourself and say, come on. It was against the Hornets. It was against the Pistons. It was against the Wizards. This is no good. We need to change it up now. Be very curious to see if we see an evolution of the rotation during this 6-game road trip.
All right, good stuff, Ira. As always, follow him on Twitter at Ira Heatbeats and catch his work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Safe travels, my brother. We will catch up next Tuesday.
Actually, next Monday. I'm going to get you next Monday in Minnesota when I'll be outside of my Speedo. So you want to catch that on the Acura Pembroke Pines Report, folks.
And it'll be 7 a.m. for us in L.A. Woo, that'll be a fun Monday.
9 a.m. for us in Minnesota. We'll catch you then on the Acura Pembroke Pines Report. Thank you, Big O.
You got it, Ira. Thank you, sir. And don't forget, visit our friends at Acura of Pembroke Pines. They've always got it going on. Larry Schlossberg, Pat Nasto, Tony Stampone, all the great people out there getting it done at the finest dealership, the finest Acura dealership on the planet, 15601 Pines Boulevard. The 2025 Integra right now, $339 a month. You can get 3.9% financing for 60 months. The ZDX, you can get electrified. We've got the 2024 models in, $339 for Conquest and Loyalty customers. And for all approved leases, $479 a month for the ZDX. That thing is awesome. Gets like 320 miles to the charge. You take the charger home with you. That's it. You'll never have to go to a gas station again and touch that dirty-ass gas pump. It's a beautiful thing. The RDX, my wife drives one every day for the last 14 years. You can get the 2024 for $379 a month, 3.9% financing. By the way, for the ZDX, you can get 0.9% financing for 72 months. So get on down there, go see the boys. If you own or lease an Acura, man, Mike Chan, Jordan Ferber, they do an awesome job. They take care of you. And by the way, the lobby is fantastic where you can hang out. That lounge got TVs, you got a cafeteria, complimentary water. They just roll out the red carpet for their customers at Craig's Inns, Acura of Pembroke Pines.
You've been listening to the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA Report with Ira Winderman. When you're looking for award-winning service and great deals from the #1 volume Acura sales dealership in the Southeast United States, you go to Craig's Inn Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
All right. Big O, let this sink in. We've lost 9 of our last 11 games and could easily have lost 11 straight for 2 plays. This alone is grounds enough to fire McDaniel. I get that, Greer. I understand that, dude, but they're not going to do any of that. So what do you want me to do? Oscar, I don't run the team, dude. I can only tell you sometimes what's going on, what I think is going to happen, and all those kind of things, and that's it. That's all I can do. I can only give you the insight that I have, what I see, what I think is developing, what should happen, and that's it. I would have fired McDaniel weeks ago. What do you want me to do? I'm not now. I disagree with you on the front office. I think the bigger problem is the coaching. The talent easily could have won more, but the coaching has been terrible. Now, the front office is to blame for the coach. So that's where I can't defend it, and I get it. But I've told you guys, they're not going to do anything. I've told you guys for weeks they're not going to do anything. I don't expect them to touch anything. I told you that they'll tweak it in the offseason, and they'll come back, and expect basically about the same stuff coming back, tweaked, and that's it. Now, is that what I would do? No, I would fire the head coach. But it's all a package deal, I guess. So they're sticking with the guy. That's all. That's the only thing. But I get what some of you want to do, but I have no control over it. Let's see. The Dolphins have the talent to be better. The Heat are who we thought they were, below average talent going nowhere. Yeah, he's right. Dolphins are underachieving. The Heat are doing exactly what they are, a middling team. He's right. Let's see. Dolphin 66 says, Big O, I really wanted to meet you in Niagara Falls, but I had a family emergency. Hopefully next year I can meet you and Sean. Have a great day and fins up. We would love to go back next year. I would go back in a heartbeat over there and hang out with Billy and Kelly and go to the River Pub. This time, Sean needs to have his passport. Okay, Sean, can you have your passport ready for that one? For next year? Can you? Please? Okay. So that way we could go to Toronto, So, but yeah, definitely would love it. By the way, the River Pub, and I stayed in the Airbnb above the River Pub. So, and 2-bedroom, and we had a great time. Super convenient. It was awesome. And by the way, you're 5 minutes from Niagara Falls. You're 5 minutes from Toronto. It's like awesome. And you've got the Dirty Bird downstairs. Awesome food. The wings are awesome. The food is amazing. The waffles, was it pizza log? Oh, Sean will swear by that pizza log. He had like 800 of them. So, just in case, if you ever are going to Niagara Falls, the River Pub is the perfect place. You're a Dolphins fan. So if you're going football season and you're going with the wife or your girlfriend or your husband, boyfriend, whatever it is, whoever I'm talking to, male or female out there, you you can rent the place there at the River Pub, and then you could go to Niagara Falls 5 minutes away and Toronto 5 minutes away, and you could catch the Dolphins downstairs in a Dolphin bar. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So there you go. Let's see. A star is a star in every game, good or bad. He's a star. Jimmy Butler has an ultra ego called Playoff Jimmy. Why? Because that's not who he really is or how he's perceived. I'm not a Jimmy fan at all. Lenny Pena, Spo needs to give Ware some burn in order for him to develop. Lenny, you know how. Let's not question Spo on this. If Spo feels you're ready, he'll play you. If he doesn't, he's not. You got to earn it, bro. I don't, I'm good with it. However Spo wants to run it, that means the kid hasn't earned it yet. If Larson's playing, it's because he's earned it. And I personally like Larson's complete game. I really like Pelle Larsson, man. I like what I'm seeing from that kid. That is our saving grace as Heat fans. We need a kid to come out of nowhere. I don't know if anybody in this group can do it, but we need somebody to become a star. Ware, Larson, Jaquez, Jovic, somebody's got to become a star. The next draft pick, they need to hit on a draft pick because they don't have the ammo. I keep telling you all this, and you keep setting yourselves up for all this failure, and I don't know why you do it. And Giannis is the next one, and it's just silly shit, man. They got no shot. No shot. What else do we have here? True Fin Fan, thank you for the love on the super chat. Who's replacing Cam next? Any good prospect? Well, the Williams kid is waiting in the wings. They have a recruit that they got last year. I forgot the kid's name. Maybe somebody can refresh or enlighten me there and remind me who it is. I forgot the kid's name, but they have a kid that is highly recruited also. So they've got two guys waiting in the wings. Fitzgerald Grass says, Fitz from Naples. Can the Dolphins win with Stephen Ross as owner? Sir, you can win with any owner. They just got to get the right people in place. That's all. I love that Stephen Ross is willing to do whatever it takes. Let's see. In and out at the Orange Block City Drive is top second to none. What is that, Jay Slim? I don't understand that. What does that mean? Is that like an In-N-Out restaurant? Paul and Del Rey says, just stop eating at 6 to 7 p.m. Eating in the morning acts as fast. Growth hormones increases with fast. Yeah. You all right? If you don't eat past 6 or 7, I try not to eat past 6 or 7 yesterday, but I hadn't eaten 25 and a half hours, bro. So, I could eat at any time. It's not going to affect me. If you haven't eaten for a whole day, a meal, whatever meal you have, it's not going to really affect you that much. Most people have a big problem with reality, especially if they're wrong. Yes. Elbow Room owner is a Bills fan. I did not know that, Josh. Antonio Padilla says, bro, talk about Trump. What is there to talk about? He's got orange paint on his face. He's got a terrible hair job. He lies like it's going out of style. He says all kinds of hateful shit. And he might be your president. So I'm at the point now where I believe it is the coaches that is the worst part of our team. If we get better coaches, how many more wins do you think we have? Easily 3 to 4 wins, Jesse. Jesse, you are on my side now. But here's the problem. As much as I like the front office, and I don't want anyone in the front office to go, they have to hire the right coach. I don't think the talent's the problem, dude. I don't. The talent's more than enough to win. The last year for Flo and the 3 years for Mike McDaniel. And every year, Mike McDaniel has left 2 or more games on the table that he should have won. This year, we're halfway through, and we're up to 4 games, dude. Colts, Titans, Seahawks, and this Bills game. 4 games you should have won with real coaches. 4 games. You're 6-2 instead of 2-6. So, but the problem is, I get it, and I can't. This is where I lose the argument every time, right? I love the front office. I love what they're doing talent-wise. I can deal with the talent. I'm good with it overall. But they have to hire the right head coach. I get it. So that's the part I cannot defend. But I like the talent overall. It's the best we've had in a long time, dude. It's just Jesse has picked up on what I've been talking about. Your coaches are, bro, you've kept Danny Crossman around. How are you telling me your special teams is at its best when you're fucking keeping around Danny Crossman? Think about that. That guy's been here 3 years too long. That's the perfect example. And I like the way Weaver carries himself, but in this week here, I have to be critical of him. Dude, your defense found a way to, limit them to field goals in the first half. You mean you couldn't do that with a drive or two in the second half? Where you could have shut them out, keep them away from the end zone, limit them to field goals instead of touchdowns? Nothing? You couldn't do that? And then Mike McDaniel has been a complete screw-up on offense the entire time up until this past week. So, yeah, coaching sucks, dude. Now, who hires the coaches? I get it. But I like the talent. Let's see. Trade Waddle, Holland, Hill, Mostert, Ramsey, and Armstead for a ton of picks. Herd immunity, you can't do any of that. Okay? See, that's the problem here. Too many of you don't understand the business of football, so you say stupid shit like this. And at least I'm the honest one. Instead of maybe your friend says, oh, yeah. And maybe your friend knows or he doesn't, but he might be as dumb as you are. And then you say stupid shit like that. You just gave Ramsey a contract. Armstead's only here for this year, dude. He's not going to want to get traded. He's going to want to stay here and finish out the year and retire. He's done. Mostert, you're not going to get anything. You're going to get a 6th or 7th round pick for an often injured back that is a complimentary back, not a bell cow. And it's running backs. The league craps running backs. The league doesn't even give a shit about running backs. The Chiefs had a running back that's been hanging around for years, bouncing around different teams, and he had 100 yards yesterday. Running backs aren't worth anything, dude. So that whole list, I'm just tearing it apart on you. Okay? Waddle, you can't trade. You just signed him to a contract. All that money would be accelerated. You'd be forced to cut other players. Okay? Holland, you can trade, but he has no value right now because he's been injured the last 2 years. So you're not going to get anything in return. Tyreek Hill, you just guaranteed him a bunch of money for the next 3 years, this season and 2 more. You can't do it. It'll accelerate. Ramsey, the same thing. Too many of you don't understand the business of football, and you say stupid shit like this. Stupid shit that cannot happen. Fiscally, it cannot happen. But too many of you keep repeating this crap, and it's just inaccurate. It won't happen. Just won't happen. Campbell's the only one that I can see that they can do him a favor because it won't affect their cap or anything like that because he's on a 1-year deal. So it doesn't matter. but they're not going to get much in return. So they'd rather have the person in the locker room instead of the 6th or 7th round pick. Too many of you just really don't understand the business of football. And you just want to be fans, and then you say some crazy ass shit, and then the next fan repeats it and repeats it and repeats it. Remember, you can make a donation on the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can also make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation, which we appreciate it as always. Ohio John, why does Chop line up so wide on the line? It always looks like he's 5 yards away from the tackle. That's a scheme. That's where they want him to line up. I'm guessing, Ohio John. I'm guessing. Here's my guess. Okay, here's my professional guess on this. He's a speed rusher, correct? Put him out more in space to try to put the tackle out and more in space so you can use your quickness and athleticism to try to get around him. If you stand in front of him and you don't have great hand movement and a lot of second and third moves, the big guy gets his hands on you and he mauls you and you can't get anywhere. So he lines up wider so he can have a wider space to attack and cut and try to get around him. Get what I'm saying? So that's what it is. The day he is better crafted to work with his hands and strength and be able to move and, do all kinds of things, then he'll line up closer because he can win the hand battle. At this moment, Chop can't win the hand battle. So he has to be a little bit more on the outside and more in space so he can use the space to his ability. It's kind of like Odell Beckham. And now you're going to look at me going, he's talking about a defensive end and now a receiver. What does that have to do? Well, because we have a coach that thinks he's smart and plays Odell Beckham in the slot, a position he's not used to playing, a position he's not comfortable playing, a position he has to learn. And you know why? He's also not a physical receiver. And you saw one of the catches where that's not what you want with Odell. And what do you want to do with Odell? You want to put him on the outside. Why? Because in the outside, you are in what? Space. And what can Odell do in space? Use his speed. What can Chop do in space? Use his speed. So it's kind of the same thing. Except the defensive coach is doing the right thing for Chop. The offensive coach is doing something really stupid with Odell Beckham. But I don't know football. Anyway, 70K is it? Isn't it 70K 500 right now? Aren't we even climbing past that? Let's see, where are we at? Where's the Bitcoin price right now? Where it be at? Where is that Bitcoin price? 70,148, 151. Okay. Thought it hit 500. Did it? No. 70,180. So we are over 70. I think we'll be over 71, 72 by the election. And then if Trump wins, we hit all-time high by tomorrow, the next day. If Kamala wins, I think we will hit an all-time high, but it'll take another week or two, because they're going to need her to talk and see what the hell she says and all that. But the markets are going to explode. As I told a buddy of mine on Twitter yesterday, Eric, who's a really nice man, and he's like, well, I voted for Trump because I don't want them to try to control prices and all that kind of stuff like they talked about. They're never going to do that. And, the misconception out there is like, well, when Trump's in office, the businesses, the corporations, they do their best. Yeah, it's the same thing with the Democrats. Look, Biden in office and the stock market is an all-time high. Biden in office and Amazon and everybody else is making more money than they've ever made. Why? Because whether it's a Democrat or Republican, it doesn't change. The rich still get richer. The powerful become more powerful. The powerful get all the tax breaks. They talk about, making them pay and all that. No, they don't, dude. It's just Republicans aren't going to make them pay. Democrats aren't going to make them pay. They all notice how neither one of the candidates are talking about bringing down the deficit, because they're both going to print like crazy, because they're both going to do the same irresponsible things. It's funny, right? Because when the orangutan is in office, he brags about the stock market. Well, guess what? All-time highs were hit with Biden. Just because it's red or blue, it's all the same shit. Same crap. It's just you people fall for this and you're cheerleaders. That's all. Whatever, man. We're screwed either way. There's only one way out for you. Okay? Just one single way out. And if you don't know what way that is, I can't help you. That's all. If you don't know the way out, because it certainly ain't a Democrat or a Republican that's going to lead the way out. Okay? That's all. By the way, very nice present from the wife. That's very cool. Very cool. And apropos. Remember, you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation at Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a donation overall. Help the platform grow. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. You can use those QR codes right there for Venmo or for Cash App. And we also added PayPal. Although you guys are telling me now to add Zelle. It's crazy shit. Anyway, so there you go. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Use that QR code. And PayPal, you can look for my name, Orlando Alzagari. And if you see the Crypto Bro Show logo, there. Also, this weekend, we had planned 2 broadcasts. One on Saturday at the Smudge Pot from 2 to 5 p.m., which we're going to be there for sure. And then the one on Sunday at Sharky's, we're not going to be there anymore, unfortunately. They did not want to provide the Ethernet line for the broadcast. So if they can't provide the Ethernet line, we can't broadcast. So just in case, I want to remind you, if you're in California and you're watching the show and you plan on going to Sharky's to meet us, at least, there'll be a lot of other people out there you can go meet and have some fun. A lot of great Dolphin fans. So it's going to be a great event. We're just not going to be there, unfortunately. But we will be on Saturday at the Smudge Pot. Okay, 2 to 5 p.m. They're in Redland, California, 2025 West Park Avenue, Redlands, California. You see it there. John Phillips is the owner. Jalen Phillips' dad. Okay, Jalen Phillips will be there. He'll be signing autographs. Donations will be going to a good cause. All kinds of good stuff. So join us at the Smudge Pot. Okay, and meet Jalen Phillips. Who cares about me and Sean, but you can meet Jalen. Well, actually, you can meet Sean. You don't want to meet me, but you definitely want to meet Sean. So there you go. So this will be our only appearance at the Smudge Pot Brewing Company on Saturday, 2 to 5 p.m. Okay. Let's see. What do we have here? The talent is definitely not the problem. I agree. If we lose Monday night, does the coach lose the locker room? I don't know how the coach hasn't lost the locker room already, to be quite honest. Big O, I've commented on this. We've criticized Flo on his staff. We have to do it 10 times more for McDaniel. Horrible special teams coach. Terrible tight ends coach. 3 DCs now, and Weaver is beginning to crack. Now, I don't believe Weaver's cracking. I just don't think he has enough talent. But he has to do a better job of adjusting, right? Because if you made some stops and limit them to field goals in the first half, you need to come up with some of those in the second half. So we can be critical. I'm not ready to give up on Weaver It's too early. It's unfair for him. But the other ones, McDaniel, Crossman, the tight ends coach, Embry, yeah, dude. I don't want anything to do with those guys. So yeah, Flo couldn't build an offensive staff. Okay, he did have Crossman at the end, but yeah, you're right. McDaniel's overall. When you're right, bro. That's why I'm telling you that the only thing I think that's wrong with this team really is the coaches. It's not the talent or the front office. Now they're responsible for the head coach. But so that's where we're screwed. Okay. Oh, can you please give me your advice on what's the best coin to get that has potential to 10x in the next 5 years? 10x in the next 5 years? Okay. I'm going to go I'm going to go the safe route. Okay? 10x in the next 5 years. Hedera Hashgraph easily will 10x in this bull run. In this bull run will easily 10x. Okay? Immutable X will easily 10x in this bull run, not in 5 years. In this bull run. Okay? So I'm going even further than 5 years. I'm taking it even to another extreme. 5X injective protocol. It's at 1757 right now, and it's up 6% today. That will easily 5X or 10X in the next 5 years. Not in this bull run. In this bull run, I think we're looking at like a 3 to 4X in this bull run. 10X. Oh, Chainlink. Oh my God, yes. Oh my God, yes. Chainlink will 10X in this bull run, will 50X in the next 5 years. Chainlink, 50X. Avalanche will 10X in the next 5 years. Okay, I think 3 to 4X maybe in this bull run. Thorchain will 10X in the next 5 years. There's a couple. I gave you some that will X in this run and some that will X in the 5 years. That's my prediction. I'm not a financial advisor. So if you're looking for true financial advice, please seek a professional. I'm just a big mouth that talks sports. I don't know anything. I'm a fan. I'm a cheerleader of cryptocurrency is what I was told today. Let's see what else. Danny Crossman should not be let in the building. I totally agree. Let's see. Good morning, Big O and Sean from Tarpon Springs. Good morning, sir. Big O, Trump's wife is pretty fine, LOL. She still looks good for her age, man. The Rent-A-Bride definitely looks good for her age. Yeah, definitely. For sure. Faux show. No doubt about that. Please smash the hell out of the like button. Okay? It is very important you smash the hell out of the like button. Let me tell you a little bit about R&M Contractors. We love talking about Ray and Mike. They do awesome work, complete remodel, kitchen upgrades with appliances, waterproofing, terrace, balcony, flood test report. That flood test report is so important in today's world. And for those of you out there in condos and you're in a tough situation, you want to make sure you have a flood test report and all that. You want to make sure everything drains properly and all of that. They make sure they do all of that for you. Ray and Mike do, they go above and beyond. 305-345-3649. floor restoration, maintenance, stucco repairs, interior, exterior paint, drywall, level 5 finish. They do in custom homes. They do everything. Custom homes, condominiums. They do it all for you. Upgrades for your kitchens, bathrooms, flooring, wood tile, you name it. They do it all. Please call Ray or Mike. This is the cell number. You can reach out to them and reach them anytime. Call Ray. Tell them that Big O sent you. 305-345-3649. That's 305-345-3649 for R&M Contractors and Custom Drywall. Nothing from the Dolphins for a trade. No. You don't expect any trades. Okay, today, don't expect any trades. It's just not going to happen. Jasmine, love Jasmine. Now, I think Jasmine will 40, 50, 100x from where it's at over the next 5 years. But Jasmine is a much bigger. I gave you what I feel are the safe plays. Okay, safe plays. I think Polka Dot will 10x from now to 5 years, easy. But I gave you the safe plays. Now, do I believe Star Atlas is going to 100x? Yeah, I do. Do I believe Jasmine's going to 100x? Yeah, I do. I believe it. But that's a much deeper gamble overall. I love it as an investment. There's a reason why I always tell you guys to stay with Bitcoin and Ethereum. And now you can add Solana to the mix too. And then I always tell you with the altcoins, 10, 10, and 10, right? I tell you 10% only of it. I always tell you to put your majority in Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? Because with the altcoins, they're all gambles. One way or another, we still don't really truly know if everything will take off. I know Bitcoin and Ethereum and now Solana is kind of entered in that realm that they're so established that they're going to run the table. But the other ones have to kind of prove themselves. So as much as I freaking love Avalanche, as much as I've loaded up even more on Chainlink, okay, and I feel really confident about those, it still has to happen. You know what I'm saying? So I'll give you those. Yeah, Jasmine, I freaking love Jasmine. I got a ton of Jasmine. I love Polis, the Star Atlas governance token, Polis. That's the one you got to buy a lot if you can. Not a financial advisor. But that one I think is going to easily, 50, 100x when it's all said and done. But that, that again, we got to let it develop and we'll see. So there's several. I love Neutron. Absolutely love. And I keep loading up on Neutron. It's been in the 30-cent range, 33, 36, 37 lately. Bought more. You know what I mean? Hey, Thaler. I got my Sailor too. I like Sailor. So there are all coins I like. But, when Shang Tu asked me, I want to give you at least the ones that I feel like, man, I think they're rock solid. And I like these other ones. I've done my homework. I feel great about them. But they're a little bit more of a gamble, of course. Smaller market caps and all those kind of things. That's why the Jasmines of the world have so much potential, because you can flip those market caps several times. Star Atlas, man, that market cap is small. That thing can flip many, many, many times over. So we'll see. Let's see. What's up with Chop? Always falling or tripping before he makes the sack. Youngins got to figure things out, bro. That's just how it goes with young pass rushers. They get here, they're unpolished, and they've got to learn how to play this game and get around those mammoth human beings on the edge. Hurd says Hill was under contract, hence the Chiefs traded him to the Dolphins. Same when no. It's not the same. Again, if you don't know what the hell you're talking about, when they traded Tyreek, it's at the back end of his contract. Okay? So the cap hits were nothing at that point. This is a fresh contract that they just gave him new money, and the new guarantees ruin it all. They cannot touch him for 2 years. You're stuck with him this year and next year. You know what, dude? I get how this world works nowadays. Too many of you are just fucking ignorant, bro. You know, somebody's talking to you that's done this for 34 years. Herd immunity, how long have you done it? Not for 1 day. Not for 1 day. I'm trying to explain it to you over and over again, and you just keep coming up with stupid shit, and that's why I lose my cool. Because when somebody that's smarter than you, that knows what the hell they're talking about, and they're trying to help you, and then you keep coming up with stupid shit that you pull out of your ass, because the Tyreek contract was not a fresh contract with Kansas City. This is a fresh contract. Just like the one you gave Ramsey. Fresh contract. Just like the one you gave Waddle. Fresh contract. You gave them new money. The second you dedicate new money to a player, he's pretty much untouchable for 2 years. I don't know how many times, bro, but this is this world. And it doesn't matter what you're talking about. It's like so many of you do not, you like refuse to admit you're wrong and you have the wrong information, and you just keep walking around with stupidity. You know what? Block herd immunity. Just block herd immunity. Just block his stupid ass. That way I don't have to deal with his stupid, ignorant ass ever again. Watch the show. You want to create another email to get in, you can go ahead and do it, but you'll probably get blocked again because you'll say something stupid because you're fucking stupid. And that's it. You know, that's all. Hey, listen, man, this ain't the show that's here for your feelings. I don't care about your feelings. Okay? I don't have time. I don't have Mike McDaniel patience. That's not going to happen on this show. I can only explain it to you so much. And if it doesn't stick to your brain because you refuse to, because you just want to be stupid, then you go ahead. Knock yourselves out. Anyway. Good afternoon. I'm not convinced McDaniel has changed his ways. He's been forced to run more because of Tua's injury. No, he did that because of the guys, but Tua was back this week and he ran. So I give him credit. He's run the last 2 weeks like he's supposed to. I think he has changed his ways. It just took him way too long to do it. Thank you, Donardo Joseph. I appreciate it. We are grateful to make it back. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, man. What else do we have here? All right, let me get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. Please call Alan Blanco if your company needs custom printing and embroidery. Kings over the Heat. Last night, 111 to 110. Miami drops to 3-3. Wednesday, they're at the Suns. They start a West Coast swing, 9 o'clock tip. Monday Night Football. Chiefs defeat the Bucks 30 to 24. They improve to 8-0. Tampa Bay drops to 4-5. Raiders are hiring Norv Turner as an offensive assistant. And the Lions have traded for defensive lineman Zadarius Smith from the Browns for a 2025 fifth-round pick and a 2026 sixth-round pick. The Lions will also get a seventh-round pick in return. The 32-year-old Smith has 5 sacks in 9 games, has 65 sacks in 10.5 years, and Detroit is 7-1. And they needed some pass rush after losing Hutchinson. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. All right. Let's see what else. What else do we have? Big O, can we trade Poyer? Who the hell would want Poyer? He's playing like dog shit. He has been a terrible pickup. He did not have anything left in the tank. And again, the ignorant shit just blows me away. How he stands there and thinks it's not a penalty still. You can't fix ignorance, bro. You just can't fix ignorance. So you're stupid enough to commit the penalty. You went up. Now you're even fighting it. Your ignorance. And you've done nothing for this team. You've made one play all season. Jordan Poyer has been a complete waste of a pickup. So I don't know if Weaver wanted him. I don't know if the front office wanted him, but he's been a terrible pickup. Doesn't matter who signed him. Shitty pickup. Now, I know you got to cut corners because you can only sign so many people, so you only have so much cap space, so you got to cut corners in certain places, and that was one of the corners that you cut because you didn't have to spend a lot of money. But, man, he has played horrible. He's been a complete waste. And he is untradeable. There's no value. Hate to get political, but please remember yes to Amendment 13 that prevents McDaniel's press conferences and prevents thousands of deaths from boredom. I'm with him there. Karun is right. Okay? We must vote on yes on Amendment 913 to eliminate and shorten Mike McDaniel press conferences to 2 minutes. I agree. And he can only answer yes and no. We can vote yes on the amendment to mute the ums and ahs coming from McDaniel. Thank you, Oscar, for congratulating us. No, it's not 37 years of marriage. Well, you put marriage and relationship. There you go. Yes. That's very commendable, and we just don't see it enough nowadays. God bless you and your family. Thank you, sir. Yeah. 30. How does she put up with me for 37 years? What's wrong with that woman? Really? What's wrong with her? She's put up with me for 37 years. So for those of you just tuning in or whatever, it's our 37th year anniversary, me and the wife. But it's not wedding because we just celebrated our 30th in March 18th. So we're headed to our 31st. But it's 37 years together because we were together 6.5 years before we got married. So that's why. So today is our 37th year anniversary being together. So thank you. I appreciate you, Oscar. Very kind of you. Let me get to a little music. Let's start with musicians born on this date. Kevin Jonas from the Jonas Brothers, born in 1987. Jonathan Greenwood, guitarist, keyboardist for Radiohead, born in 1971. Who else? Bryan Adams, Canadian guitarist, singer, songwriter. His first UK single, Gonna Run to You, born in 1959. I always tell the story. First time I ever saw Bryan Adams, he was a nobody, and he opened up at the Rock Super Bowl in the Orange Bowl. That weekend, unfortunately, Randy Rhoads died in a plane crash. So the Ozzy Osbourne portion of that concert was canceled, and it was replaced by Pat Travers and UFO. Foreigner was the headliner of the concert anyways. Foreigner 4 was out at that time. It was the #1 album in the country. It had so many hits. It was crazy. Foreigner was on top of the world at that moment. And so Ozzy was too, by the way, but he was the co-headliner. And so the opening act was Bryan Adams. No idea. This was before Run to You, Cuts Like a Knife. He didn't have any hits at that time. This was his first album. And the Orange Bowl, the way they set up the Orange Bowl was the stage wasn't on the east or west side. No. The stage was on the north side of the stadium. So you only had the half of the south side. So the field, partial field, and the south side, okay, of the stadium. Like a different configuration, not something that they normally do in the Orange Bowl. Normally, when they set up a stage, they put it right in the open end zone. That's usually where they put a stage, you know. So anyway, so Bryan Adams comes on, and everybody's talking, and he's just performing or whatever, because nobody knows who the hell he is. And to this day, I still don't know what song he was singing. I actually haven't even bothered to go back ever. This is 1982, and I haven't even bothered to go back to that first album to find what song it was. But it's a song that in the middle of the song, he said, it goes, she said, take me back. And I said, F you. And the whole place lost it. Nobody who knew who Bryan Adams was, but just because he yelled F you into the mic, the whole place went crazy and were cheering for him and all that. And they kind of like got into the rest of his set after that. It's funny. So happy birthday to Bryan Adams, born on this date in 1959. Let's see. Mike Score, lead singer of A Flock of Seagulls, born on this date in 1957. David Moisey, guitarist for the Australian soft rock band Air Supply, born in 1957. Helen O'Hara from Dexy's Midnight Runners, born in 1956. Come on, Eileen. Let's see who else. Peter Noonan, singer, English beat rock band Herman's Hermits, born in 1947. Graham Parsons, born in 1946, singer-songwriter, member of the international submarine band, the Byrds, the Flying Burritos. Graham Parsons was all over the place. Loletta Holloway, disco queen, born in 1946. Hit and Run, Love Sensation. We lost her in 2011 at the age of 64, heart failure. Art Garfunkel, singer-songwriter with Paul Simon, born in 1941. Ike Turner, band leader, songwriter, record producer, and wife beater, born in 1931. Lost him in 2007 at the age of 76. Roy Rogers, singer, cowboy, actor, born in 1911. Roy Rogers. What was that song he would sing at the end of his show? Was it Happy Trails? It was a Happy Trails, right? Wasn't it Happy Trails? I think it was Happy Trails. I want to say. Creator of Ho celebrating birthdays today. Kris Jenner. She is 69 years old. Let's see who else. Odell Beckham Jr. is 32 years old. Jason Kelsey, 37 years old. Who else celebrating birthdays today? Josie Canseco. She is 28. Alexa Chung, TV host. She is 41. Sam Rockwell, movie actor, is 56. And that is it. Sean Stanley, do we have any wrestlers born on this date?
Yes, we do. Whoa. Got feedback. Sorry about that. Alexander Wolf is 38. Allison K is 37. Jackson Andrews is 45. Savannah Evans, she turns 37. And the NXT Women's Champion, Roxanne Perez, she turns a whopping 23 years old today. Those are your birthdays for November 4th or November 5th, 2024.
That's right. Let's go and move over to music history and what happened today in music history. In 2010, Keith Richards had the #1 book on the New York Times hardcover nonfiction bestseller with his autobiography, Life. In 95, boy, you can't listen to the audio if he was reading it to you, huh? Can you imagine trying to understand an audio book that Keith Richards is reading? That would be a trip. In 95, Butch Vig, who produced Nirvana's album Nevermind, made his live debut with his band Garbage when they performed in Minneapolis' 7th Street Entry. In 81, the posthumous Stevie Ray Vaughan album The Sky is Crying, featuring 10 previously unreleased tracks originally recorded in the 80s, came out. In 1970, Led Zeppelin put out their hit Immigrant Song as a single in America. I come from the land of the ice and snow. In 87, Bruce Springsteen topped the charts with Tunnel of Love, his 4th #1 album. In 65, Decca Records released a Who single, My Generation. In 2012, one day left before the presidential election, musicians Pearl Jam's Mike McCready, Lemmy Kilmister of Motorhead, Bruce Springsteen, and Stevie Wonder urged fans to vote for Barack Obama. 12 years later, Bruce Springsteen is telling you to vote for. So there you go. There you go. Oh, Stevie Wonder too, by the way. Stevie Wonder was also at one of her rallies. Also. So that's what happened today in Musica history, ladies and gentlemen. And Bitcoin is holding over $70,000 right now, which is beautiful. And we'll see what happens tonight. Should be fun tonight. I can't wait for the election tonight. That's going to be fun. And I'm so glad it's over, because now you guys won't get any more of all those messages, texts, and emails, and all kinds of stuff. And we need your vote, and all that kind of stuff. So that's a good thing, that all the craziness will end. Some craziness is going to start, but I think that'll be put to bed quickly when it's all said and done. I am sticking to my prediction, even though Jim Cramer is going to prove me wrong, but I'm not going to switch, because I think Trump's not going to win now, because that's what Jim Cramer said, that he doesn't see Trump winning. So that kind of means Trump's going to win. But I'm going to stay with my prediction all the way through. I think the crazy rhetoric and all that kind of stuff is going to cost him the election. I think if Trump actually acted the way he acted in the Biden, the debate, that he was like calm, cool, and he wasn't doing all the crazy stuff, and he let Biden hang himself. I think if that Trump would have kept going instead of the crazy Trump that we've heard now for the last couple months, I think all this rhetoric has cost him the election, because he had it in the bag. He was kicking Biden's ass, and he had a chance against her. And I think if he would have stuck to just talking only about the economy the entire time instead of all the crazy stuff, I think he gets elected. I really do, because I don't think, deep down inside, we all know Kamala's not qualified for this. And neither is Trump, by the way. But because of what's coming off of Biden, that rubs off on her. It was an easy win for the Republicans. I think if they pick anybody outside of Trump, the Republicans win by miles. I think they picked the wrong person, but they got lucky that Biden got really old really fast, and he looked like he's half dead right now, and he was going to easily win it. And then when they made the switch, All he had to do was stay calm and cool instead of going crazy, and he went crazy. And I think that's what that's what will cost him the victory tonight. And my prediction is not only does Kamala win, which is not good for me in Bitcoin, but long run, Kamala or Trump won't make a difference. But short term, Trump will be better than Kamala. Long term, both will be a disaster and both will help Bitcoin explode because both will print. So it don't matter. But my prediction is that Kamala wins between 5 to 9 million votes. So she doesn't only win, she wins by a significant margin. That's my prediction. I'm going to stick to it. Okay? Because I just think that the average American, I think the women are going to win this election for Kamala. All the attacks on women and all that crazy stuff and the abortion, and we're going to protect women whether they like it or not, all that kind of stuff that he did. I think he turned off a lot of people. Again, listen, if you're a Trumpy, you don't count. You're not turned off by anything he says. You don't care about anything he says. So you people don't count. Your opinion doesn't count because you're stuck there. I'm talking about the people that are in the middle or anybody else. The other people, he only caters to his people. He had to cater more to the middle and more to the left, and he did not do that. And that's where I think he failed and lost this election. I may be completely wrong. We'll find out tonight. You know what I mean? For me, I'm just, this will be wearing my shoes and having some fun and chilling. That's all. Either way, both idiots are going to print well over $10 trillion in the next 4 years, and they're going to pump Bitcoin to hell. Okay? And by the way, one more thing. Whatever the number is on Bitcoin today, you will never see it again. Just so you'll know, this is the fourth cycle. Fourth. The first, second, and the third. The day of the election, whatever the number is on Bitcoin, it's never been hit again. The number from 4 years ago, it never went down to that number. The number from 8 years ago didn't go down from the 1 and 4, can't go from the 1 and 8. The one from 12 years ago, it didn't go from the 1 4 years ago. So you see the 70,000 we're at? All of you that bought anything under 70,000, you bought a gift. You will never see 70 again, because after every election, on election day, wherever Bitcoin is at, it never dips below that number ever again. I told you guys, we're not going to see the 50s and the 60s. Looks like you'll never see 70,000 again. Maybe 75, maybe 80, maybe 85, 90, 100. Maybe when it goes to 120, it dips down to 195 or something, but you'll never see 70 again. So every one of you that bought Bitcoin under 70, you bought the bargain of all bargains, because it'll never get to that number again. That's an amazing thing with Bitcoin. It never reaches the low of the previous day of the presidential election. It never goes down there. How crazy is that? So it's at 70 right now on election day. You'll never see 70 again. Now you can win like a $50,000, $60,000 car because they're giving away a Mercedes-Benz at Hialeah Park. Beautiful red Mercedes-Benz. By the way, I got to tweet it out. Use the QR code there. Get your no regret first bet, $100. Make your bet, get $100. It's a beautiful thing. You got football, you got basketball going on, college football, hockey. You can bet on the presidential race. Well, not probably on the Hialeah app. Can't do that. But either way, check it out. And if you go to Hialeah Park, play the slot machines. Every time you play the slot machine, you get an entry. And you get a chance to win that Mercedes-Benz. They'll give it away at the end of the month. There you go. All right. Let's see. 5,000 Jasmine says Trump wins. Sam, listen, first of all, most of you are all full of shit. Okay? None of you back up anything you ever say. None of you ever show up to anything that you ever say you're going to show up to. You never live up to anything. So I don't trust anybody when it comes to any of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, I had a guy that was a big Trump guy, and I told him, well, bring your money. Let's go. I'll bet you. Coward never showed up to Hialeah Park. Did it a couple times over the few months. I said, bro, bring your money. I'll bet you that Trump will lose. They never brought their money. Fucking cowards. It's amazing. It's a lot of talk, bro. There's a lot of talk out there. A lot of talk. And I'm out in public all the time. You know? A lot of hot air, bro. A lot of hot air. I mentioned it to a couple of those Trumpies for the last couple of months. I said, bro, bring your money. Bring it to Hialeah Park. Bring it to Kendall Toyota, or Toyota of Hollywood, or Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines, or at Canes. I'm out all over the place. You're such a tough guy and you want to bet, bro, I'm here. Not one of those cowards showed up. Now, those cowards will if he wins tonight, the cowards will come back tomorrow. Oh, you're lucky I didn't go bet. No, bro, you didn't go bet because you have no balls. Because you talk a lot of shit. That's the problem here, bro. There's too many of you. You talk shit. You can't back up anything. I'm here every day. You guys get to have your little predictions and go hide. And I'll bet you. Well, come, bro. Come bet. None of you came to bet. And I did it a couple times to you Trumpies. Oh, yeah, I'll go see you down there. You won't go see shit. You got no balls. You just talk. You're all textbook you're text warriors, bro. You're keyboard warriors. That's all. So all that shit, I never believe any of that. Because it's all talk, bro. Yap, 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 yap. Kind of like the guy you're pushing. All lies, all yapping. Nothing is ever backed up. So this whole I bet you, bro, you don't bet anything. Nobody ever bets anything. You people don't show up. Cowards, bro. Talk, 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 talk. Coach, what is it? Coach something on Twitter. Another guy. Coach something. I forgot what it is. Another guy, another Trumpy. I said, bro, bring your money. I'm at Hialeah Park. Yeah, I'm going to go see you. You didn't come see shit. Coach AJ, I think, or some shit on Twitter. Habla mierda. You know, that's all I see, bro. Talk shit. Have some balls. Show up. If you're really going to show up, show up. Let's go. You really want to bet? Bring your money, dude. Bring your money. Talk is cheap, dude. Talk is cheap. And I'm the one that's in person. I'm the one live. I'm the one in public. I'm the easy to find, man. Super easy to find. So if you want to run your mouth, bring it, dude. Bring the money. Back it up. So tired of all that shit. Every time. So, no, Frankie, I already voted. I voted. Of course I voted. Let's see. I'm not in Miami. I'm in Pensacola. There's cold storage wallets. You want to send 5,000? You got to send the 5,000, Jasmine. I can have Sean open up a wallet and you send 5,000 Jasmine over. See, that's how we can do it. Anything can be done, bro. Anything can be done. Where you send the money ahead of time. I send it too. We put it there and then, but you got to have a third party for that. So, that's all right. It's all talk now, bro. Talk is cheap. I've already heard from several of you Trumpies, and told you all, bring your money, and not one of you showed up. Not one, dude. Not one showed up. Okay? And I remember the one guy, one of those guys, Coach AJ. I don't remember the other two clowns that we did it here on the chat board. So bring it, bro. Bring your money. Some of you saw it when I did it to them. None of them show up. That's all it is. You people run your mouths. No balls, bro. No cojones. So way it goes. My motto, we can't always fight about it. Yep, keyboard warriors. That's exactly it. Big O, you see Holland playing Monday night? I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Big O, you say you do what you want. This is your show, but you should preface that within the 15-year history of Bitcoin, you shouldn't say never because you're acting like it has 115 years is long enough. By the way, Oscar, what currency dominates for 150 years? It really doesn't happen. Do you listen to the show? Because you're on every day. Have I not explained to you guys that every currency has its limits, like between 80 and 120 years? And we've reached that point now with the U.S. currency, and it's now going downward, down, and down, and down, and down, because it's getting so inflated because they're printing so much, and everybody's dumping their debt. And in 15 years, Bitcoin has survived wars, a pandemic, all kinds of inflation issues. So I don't know. Never for now sounds pretty good until proven otherwise. Never sounds pretty good, right? And Oscar, the rest of the world just keeps printing more rubles and more dollars and more euros and more whatever. What's the silly money that the Canadians have? A loonie? Is that real money? Does that even count as money? Go see what's happened in the German mark. Go see what's happened in the German economy. So, go see what's happened to China's economy and Japan. So I'm going to go with Bitcoin over all those currencies. In fact, they're all going to Bitcoin instead of their own currencies. So I don't know, Oscar. I kind of feel I'm way ahead of the game on this one. Okay? I kind of feel good, like I told you, trade X, trade Butler, do not re-sign Tyreek. Sometimes we're ahead of the curve here. And something tells me that with Bitcoin, I'm way ahead of the curve on this one. Like, way ahead of the curve on this one. Think about that. Every election day, you never see that number ever again from Bitcoin. It's a hell of a stat. It's a hell of a stat. And here's the best part about that stat. The prior times it happened, Bitcoin was carried by retail. Retail is you and me, just average people, Joe Schmoes. Guess what Bitcoin's going to be carried by now? Us schmucks are the icing on the cake. Institutions. Now it's covered. Now it's carried by countries and cities, and pensions, and those people. That's stronger than anything else out there. So Oscar, I get it, bro. You're not orange pilled. You haven't figured it out. You don't believe in it. You really don't understand yet what's going on with currencies all over the world and banking, and you're not looking at Bitcoin. It's cool, dude. Lots of people will be led down the wrong path. That's just kind of the way it is. It's sad, but it's the truth. It's the truth. Let's see. Big O, if I have $100 to buy some Bitcoin right now before the election results, should I? Yeah. But here's what I'm going to ask you, Juan. Are you buying it just because I say so, just because it's going to go up now and you're looking to get rid of it in a week? Then go ahead, bro, and make a couple of dollars. But if you want to get in it for a 4 or 5 year cycle and watch your money really grow. Because, those of us that have been in the 4 year cycle, we bought at 16 and at 18 and 20 and 25, And so when it's at 130 and you bought at 70, you're going to go, wow, thank God I bought it. But you got to wait and give it time. But if you're just using $100 because you can spare it at the moment, but you need it a week from now, don't do it. That's not, if you're not really into a long term, you're not really going to maximize it. So if you're looking to make $20, yeah, go ahead, put in $100 and you'll make $20 in a week or two. And okay, so I made 20%. But if you really want to make money, you keep buying the dips and you keep riding it, and it will pay off so beautifully. It's ridiculous. But you got to stay in it in a 4 or 5 year cycle. That's when you really become a Bitcoiner. Once you've hit a 4 or 5 year cycle, you see the growth. The short-termers, the people under 155 days, they don't understand Bitcoin. They're not really investors. They're just gambling and they want a quick fix. The Saints are trading Marshawn Lattimore to the Commanders for a premium draft pick as Washington loads up. Let's see. Bitcoin up, market up. Wonder who the market expects to win. It doesn't matter. The market's at all-time highs with Biden. The same shit that they used to brag with with Trump, same thing. Well, the stock market's better, never been better. The big seven are the most powerful they've ever been. They've had the greatest years they've ever had. Why? Because it doesn't matter who's in office. Just doesn't matter. So they could be pricing in Harris, not Trump. Stock market's doing fantastic with Biden. Everyone's having record years. They're all killing it. Haven't you seen what Nvidia's doing? Haven't you seen what Amazon's doing? Like, they don't lose anything. Microsoft has billions and billions sitting in their reserve. Stock market couldn't be any better. That's blah, 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 blah. If you believe Kamala say, we're going to make them pay. They run the country. Larry Fink runs the country. He runs your banking system, not the politicians. He tells the politicians what to do. Anyway. Big O, do you think that the Dolphins are willing to cut Poyer and Neal? They should, but I don't think they're going to cut anybody right now. So. Big O, you get a little testy Bitcoin like Trumpers get with Trump. Yeah, I do. I get testy when I know people are talking to me that have no idea what they're talking about. Yeah. I'll get testy. Didn't I just rip that idiot Dolphin fan that I just got rid of him? Because he kept thinking, oh, no, but you can make the Tyreek deal happen. No, you can't, unfortunately. You can't. You screwed up. You signed him already. You gave him, not signed him, but you guaranteed more money when you shouldn't have. By the way, where are all you people with Tyreek? Because I was fighting a lot of people on that one. You're all wrong now, right? So when are you all chiming in like, hey, you're right about Tyreek. We shouldn't have given him the money. I didn't see a lot of you come back after that. Interesting, huh? Kind of goes back to that coward talk, right? Blah, 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 blah. Where are all you Tyreek people? Oh, you're crazy. Oh, you got to give them the money. You got to lock them up. I mean, he's so unstoppable. The Bills kept him out. They shut him down. Just saying, I mean, you're that special. Right? Just where are all you Tyreek people? You're hiding with the X and the Jimmy Butler people? Yeah. Yeah. I'm used to it. Don't worry about it. I'm used to it. I'm used to you guys running and hiding after your comments. We thank Ira Winderman, Manny Navarro, and David Furones. If you missed any of those interviews, you can rewind or you can wait till Sean Stanley puts them up on audio or video. Remember to smash the hell out of the like button every time you're watching any show. Appreciate all of you out there. We will see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
Hey, O.
Yes.
We're casino tomorrow.
Oh, I'm sorry. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. at Hialeah Park Casino. That's right, because Thursday we're traveling. So, 3 p.m. tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel.